Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?
What is going on, everyone? We are back with another episode of the Platform Podcast with a little twist today.
Little just a dude.
Joined here by a bunch of dudes.
Lots of dudes.
Probably the most dudes that have been in this apartment since we moved in here. So,
Little L-shaped circle jerk.
yeah.
Nice.
We're doing a little feature collaboration with Travis's podcast, Just a Dude. So we're sitting here with a bunch of DJs and a GM of a bar and restaurant, and we're going to get into a bunch of stuff from a management perspective, a DJ perspective, booker perspective. So we got Connor Houndstooth here, Rod, Youree, Travis, Moose. What's up? How we doing, guys?
Good.
Love
Feeling
it.
great.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Full
We
of
wanna-
pizza that Trav blessed us with.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Trav.
Sponsored by Emmy Squared.
Sponsored by Emmy. I need some sponsors for the pod.
Hey, that's
Okay,
a good sponsor.
whatever.
I would love to have
All
an
your
Emmy
guests are
Squared
full.
sponsor.
I just need to take a moment, not of silence, but Rod Youree is actually here. And I've talked about getting him on the podcast since I moved back 2 years ago.
Oh, you've never had him on the pod?
He's never been on yours?
No.
He wasn't on the one with
Ah.
7 DJs?
Nope. It was the one
So
with
this
7
really
DJs
wasn't
was
in your
Connor,
contract.
Ray,
No.
Kaz.
He waited for the 2 for
He
1.
really
It's like a
didn't
whole
sign up
bunch of
for it.
people, yeah.
Ran out of nose.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, at
You
some
couldn't
point,
find any more excuses.
honestly, I just messaged this girl and was like, can you do me a favor and like tell
Yeah.
Rod to just get on a podcast?
His grandma could only die so many times.
They died 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I lost that excuse.
So yeah, no, seriously, shout out to everyone. Obviously, shout out to Dex for providing the space and the cameras and all the audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get into it and talk. We obviously did an episode not long ago with a few of us. We're missing Adam, who's not here today. He's still alive. He's just not here
All right.
in the building, which is good because that means Moose and I didn't do any edibles before this episode, so we'll be in better shape probably.
Yeah.
Is that's a contingency when
Oh,
you
there was a
do anything
moment.
We were
with
just
Adam?
chatting.
There was a moment the last episode where all three of us locked eyes and realized it was kicking in,
Yeah.
and then we started laughing.
It was
and
it started to be a ramble fest.
yeah, it was bad for a minute.
It was
but-
funny.
That's
It was
that's
really
the one with the 4 you guys were on?
No, that was the one you were with us.
I wasn't there with Adam.
No, when us three did it.
I listened to the
The
one
last
where
one that-
it was you
that
guys
we
and
did.
Adam.
No, it was me, you, Moose, and Adam.
Oh.
The one that was Darren there?
No,
no,
I was
just
never
Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, you brought all your shit to my apartment. You were definitely there.
Adam was not there. It was
Yeah.
literally the 3
it
of
was
us.
3.
Were you high for that?
That's what
too?
I said.
Maybe.
Us 3.
Probably.
Was
Yeah.
that the edible episode?
Wait,
I don't
you
know.
ate.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Did or
Are you sure you weren't
did
doing this
not eat
everyone?
edibles today.
I don't know.
Well,
I
let's
don't
get some
remember. I didn't
intros.
think I needed it.
Well, let's get some intros. Kind of go
Yeah, we're
around.
good.
Start with you, Connor. Honestly, what do you want to be addressed as? Do you want people to know your government?
Everybody should just
Oh,
call
it's
him
fine.
Houndstooth,
Mr.
dude.
Tooth. Mr.
Mr.
Tooth.
Tooth.
I mean, my friends know me as Connor, but I go by DJ Houndstooth. Lived in Nashville for about 10 years now. Been DJing. I got my first DJ gig here like 9 years ago. So,
Were you DJing prior to Nashville though?
yes, in Alabama.
Yeah.
I just moved up here to do something better.
So not really DJing because it was Alabama.
Hey,
College, right?
I see some,
mean, I just
some
hit-
Tuscaloosa
college, right?
shit, and it looks fucking wild,
I
man.
hit the ceiling there.
Yeah. What about you, Rod? Where you from? How long you been DJing?
Born in Murfreesboro, so just outside Nashville. Been in the area my whole life.
Okay.
Been DJing for 25 years now. I'm the old guy here.
He's an OG.
Rod's 50, by the way.
Hey, easy. You're rounding up way too much. Yeah, I'm the OG on the couch today.
It's true.
Yes.
It's very true.
I always say the better DJs are generally older.
Well, yeah.
Generally old. They just are. They just
Experience,
are.
baby.
We have
Like,
experience.
Yeah.
I hate when people are like, he how old is he? I'm like, dude,
I mean, it's not like a sport
wait a
where you're
second.
gonna fall off.
Let him
like-
play.
Yeah, it's
like-
not like my 40
Fire.
speed dropped.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not tearing an
your,
Achilles.
your crab scratch speed might drop a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
but exactly.
Tore a
Yes.
tendon in
Elbow,
his
my
finger.
scratch heavy arm.
Yes.
Rod's shoe game keeps him young.
Yes. We kind of have him blocked off by
that.
the coffee table.
Let's
so
see him. Let's see
might
him.
have to
Give him a
raise
little
a shoe
for the
at
cam.
some point.
I don't know if I have the.
Hey,
first-
now.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
God,
let's
no.
get it.
I bet
They're
the
not
bottoms are
made
clean too.
anymore.
One thing about Rod is he is a giant sneakerhead. He has a room full of shoes that is the size of this living room.
That's what's
I
up.
may be able to plug that into a clip and give people a glimpse of his shoe room, so people can envy him a little bit. So,
It's
what's your favorite
insane.
shoe all time?
Black Cement 3.
Cements. All right.
Just because that was my
He had
first
that
Jordan
ready to
also.
go.
Ah,
Solid.
So it holds a little
Gotcha.
place in my heart.
all right. Travis,
Nice.
what about you? Give us a little background.
From DC originally, lived in Florida, lived in Nashville now for 3 years. I left during COVID and came back. Kind of my claim to fame in town is Paradise Park. I moved back after COVID to run Paradise Park. If you were around town, before COVID, when it was actually called Paradise Park, it changed to Downtown Sporting Club. And then when they brought me back to town, we kind of tried to rebrand it. The signage itself was $75,000 to replace. So never got around to that. But I think Rod can speak to it. Connor can speak to it. They both DJ'd for me there. And, I'll never forget the night that, DJ Spin sent me a drone video of Pauly D playing at Assembly Food Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And our rooftop was 10 times busier than Assembly Food Hall's.
Oh, the Sky Deck.
Yeah. And, Danny, who's been on this as well, DJ Disarray will tell you all about it. He still sends me clips like to this day. He's like, man, I just fucking miss it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And
That's
I think
a fun
Rod,
gig.
were you DJing that night that the paver broke and the girl like fell down a little bit?
I saw multiple girls fall down, so I need more details.
There was a night that like we had turf on the roof and there was like these
when the
concrete
roof started
pavers.
collapsing. Yes,
Yeah, they had
I was
the
there.
concrete pavers underneath of the turf and
Yeah.
Rod was getting him to jump a little too hard, I guess.
And once I saw it started to give away, I was like, let me
Yeah,
just try
one-
to get if I get more jumping going on.
One girl snapped when we pulled like 3 chairs and just put it around as a caution thing. I was like, I'm not closing. So
You literally just put some furniture around it.
yeah,
It was
fuck
like,
your
keep
safety.
going.
Yeah, whatever.
You guys
I'm
will be
about
all
to-
right.
about to set a record sales night.
I
I
was
was
like,
like, shit about you.
I was like, let me lean into this.
Wait, so where
more.
was this place?
It's where Garth Brooks Bar is going now. So
Okay.
it's on Broadway.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, right beside Nudies.
Oh,
four-
yeah. That's a
411
fucking
Broadway.
money spot.
That
we
rooftop was
did-
huge too. It was
And
so
they're
nice.
building more on it now, I feel like.
Yeah,
Or is-
they built it. So it was already reinforced all the way back,
okay.
but now they're finally building into it. I'm really curious to see what they do with the building because the 3rd floor was 16 Airbnbs, which a lot of people didn't know, and they were sick Airbnbs. Some of them slept up to 12 people.
Okay.
It was like hostel style bunk beds, pull out couches, whatever.
When
But
they remodeled Paradise Park to Sporting Club, that's what they added.
Yeah,
They added-
and they gutted, but with Garth Brooks Bar, they gutted all that, which is why it's taken so long. I remember we talked about moving the elevator shaft when I was there, and just to move the elevator shaft was $1.5 million. So I can only imagine the amount of money that's gone into it.
Mm-hmm.
I do think one of the things that he announced in doing the metro substation down there got him some money from the city.
Gotcha.
But that's why it's also taken so long because that was a super old building. They gutted it to damn near beyond the studs.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Garth Brooks has money.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, for real.
He's doing all right.
He's already come out and been like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to carry Bud Light. I don't care.
I know. I saw that and I loved it.
Yeah.
Like for
I'm gonna
him to
carry
just be
anything.
like,
you want to come in and get a beer?
Yep.
You're going to get a beer. I don't
he's like,
care.
I'm accepting of whatever, whoever wants to fucking come in and
I mean,
have
Garth
a good
Brooks
time.
said that 25 years ago when he released "We Shall Be Free." So
Yeah.
anybody that didn't realize that about Garth has not been
Yeah.
listening to his music.
He's
But it's,
definitely-
I feel like people like ask him the questions like that, like hoping to get some
A rise?
fucking,
They want that
yeah,
clip.
some
Some-
answer that
yeah,
they
some
can just
quotable
like
response.
Any
clickbait.
clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's like, remember
fuck you guys.
25 years ago when I was saying the same shit?
Yep.
Like,
Guess
I
what? I
haven't
still
changed.
am. Yeah.
Now I just have more money.
They want him to be shooting fucking Bud Lights
Yeah.
in his backyard.
All right, last intro.
Yo, I'm Moose. Actually, to be honest with you, I've thought about this so many times through just being in that fucking group text. So I'm like back in the cut, kind of just like haha and stuff and here and there chipping in because like half the people y'all are talking about, I don't know them. And half the places are closed that y'all have either been around or had more experience in another area. So I feel very privileged to like be around and just be part of the conversation. But I'm a DJ here in town. Obviously, I've been doing it like 10 years now, and it's just
Where you from? Where your mama stay?
Indiana, from cornfields, flatlands. My mama stayed there too.
Where your daddy at?
But you have an audio
stayed there, too.
background. You went to school.
MTSU,
yeah.
audio production.
Go Blue Raiders.
Did
Yeah.
you go there?
I went
too?
to
Yeah.
one. I went to
alright.
half of a game the whole time I was there.
I was a frat boy.
Uh,
I was a
but
fraternity guy
I
too.
liked
That's
the
where I got my
college in
start.
general. It was
DJing.
dope. I got a good experience out of it. Met a lot of people. You know, actually, one of the people that I was good friends with in college is why I'm with my girlfriend now. She's big brained attorney, cyber attorney.
Nice.
So
You got a sugar mama, huh?
Good job, friend.
yeah, a little bit.
Don't screw that up.
Good job, friend. He got you a good one.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. But yeah, like I said, been doing this for a while. I got into DJing through being, you know, if you're in Nashville for music and you're from Indiana, your family's like, he's in music, we need a music related thing. And no offense to my cousin, but like I had no idea what the fuck I was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I trust you. You're a music guy. You can do my wedding. And 10 years later, I'm hanging out with you fuckers.
There we go.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, kind of give it like the
Yeah,
Cliff Notes version of.
background.
Yeah, I think what we want to do is we want to try to create a better relationship between venues and DJs so that the proper DJs are booked at the proper venues and the proper time slots for the proper amount of pay.
Appropriate format.
Yeah, appropriate formats, appropriate, vibes. I mean, we talked about DLS, I will say is one of my favorite venues in the city just because it's the closest thing to a true nightclub that we have, so it makes me feel at home.
Mm-hmm.
Their lighting and sound build out was 1.5
so fucking
million.
badass.
I know it, and it's incredible. They did a really great job. But it also really disappoints me to go in there ever on a Friday or Saturday night or any night and the music just not be good and the tables not be booked and, the bar not be busy. I mean, Dex and I went this past Saturday and, we were there. It was like kind of busy, I think, but towards the tail end of our time there, it had died out and it was like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we were there at a peak hour, and
Yeah.
it was.
Oh wow.
I mean,
But we
People are
just walked
starting to
right in.
leave.
There was no line. There was no anything.
Oh, yeah.
Security, like I saw Kenny's the guy that runs security there for Rock Solid. I saw him outside. He said, "What's up?" We just walked right in. There wasn't anyone waiting to get in. And to me, I just think of Printer's Alley. Like there's a line outside of Bourbon Street Blues, and that's my favorite bar in town. Like outside of nightlife venue, whatever. I think they have the best live music.
Different demographic, but I see your point.
Yeah.
But
though.
there's a line out there, and there's a line at fucking Skull's Rainbow Room for waiting for overpriced steaks. Like, what are they doing at DLS to then create relationships with those venues to drive traffic amongst itself? Because, Connor was in DC with me about a month ago or 2 months ago, and we went to DuPont Circle, and there's clubs, like 5 clubs back to back to back to back to back, all on Connecticut Avenue and DuPont, and they all feed off of one another. They all just bounce back and forth. So, kind of getting back to like what our goal is again is creating a more symbiotic relationship amongst the venues, management, DJs. If it is a booking agency, the booking agency working a little bit better communication-wise with the management of the venues. I think as an operator, it's weird for me to hear a venue and the GM of the venue not know who's DJing ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's damn sure if they don't know that you've been playing there for 5.5 weeks or 6 weeks, that blows my mind. And I think that Rod and Connor could both speak to at Paradise, I put my schedule out a month in advance. Everyone was on the same thread. Everyone knew who was playing where. So if they needed to get a set covered, they could get it covered. That just came through me and they let me know. But I think that, and that was just using a simple spreadsheet. Like I didn't even invest in like a scheduling app because scheduling app would have been easier. But I do believe that like really getting, I say it in the bar scene all the time. It's like putting your aces in their places.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't put a dubstep DJ at Jason Aldean's. Like they're never going to because Jason Aldean's is a TC group, but like just for instance, that's what I think of, right?
Yeah.
Like don't put, Barstool just opened up. Don't put a dubstep DJ at Barstool. I mean, I've seen photos from behind the booth and there's a sticker on it that says no dubstep ever. And I love that shit. It's not the fucking place.
it's a great sticker.
Dubstep is like for,
Does that include future bass?
yeah, I think it does. I think it's specifically
That's close. Yeah, that's
future-based.
close enough.
But I think of dubstep future bass at like heavy house music, and that's got to be in a dark venue. It's got to be like LEDs flashing everywhere.
Like DLS.
It has to be the
DLS,
right
Skydeck.
crowd. I mean,
say-
even
It's just gotta be
DLS,
the right
like I
vibe, yeah.
don't think that shit works for DLS.
I don't either. You
and
can
I've
like
even
Really?
drop one in, and then you got to get out real fast.
Like,
Because
I've
people
even
don't
been at
like it, or
DLS.
just because it's not the venue for it?
because people don't like it.
yeah, people don't.
Oh,
people
well,
don't.
fuck. If people don't like it, that's pretty obvious.
It
Yeah.
just goes back to
in
reading the
this
room.
town, you go
Yeah.
back to tourists, and most of your weekend business are 70% of it's tourists, because no locals want to go to Broadway on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I come out and see one of you guys DJing, like I'm standing next to you the entire time.
Exactly.
I'm hanging out with you the entire time. Like that's it. I'm not there to like pound my fist in the air and fucking beat that beat up, because I'm not Pauly D.
He was talking about Pauly D before, and now he's just stuck
Yeah.
on him.
I can't help it. Yeah,
Pauly D
I'm stuck. But yeah, that's kind of like that's what we want to do with this, and again, just creating a better relationship to where everyone's becoming more successful. And I think that, you know, I've talked about that on my own like podcast before, where it's just been me, and I'm like, challenge yourself to be better. And when you're looking in the mirror and that becomes a difficult conversation, like still have it, right? Like there's no reason to shy away from it. But I think that, you know, these booking agencies, they're in it for them right now, and there's not a relationship with the venue. And it's a gift and a curse being on Broadway, right? Like you're busy no matter what all the time because you're on Broadway. But I think what that does is it makes the management team mindless of what's actually happening in the venue. Are people dancing? Are people engaged? Are people having a good time?
Or are you just busy because there's so many people?
Yeah. Even if 75 people leave, there's another 60 people that are going to come up. So you're only losing 15. And in 5 minutes, those other 15 are going to be up.
I would argue that even like the venues not on Broadway need more love or more attention from the people that are curating the music for it.
The local spaces that are in Midtown, that are in East Nashville, like, you know, Rod's counterpart is one of the counterparts. DJ Coach and Ray play at Rosemary every Saturday night. And Jeremy's another one that I would love to get on the pod, but he's full-time dad mode all the time. And I almost convinced him to get on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said maybe, and he was like, I just got to figure out kids with Tiff and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I texted him this past Saturday when I left work and I was going home. And I'm like, man, good for you guys. He's like, what are you even talking about? And Rod, Jeremy, and I all met at Kung Fu years ago when I first moved here. But I'm like, you guys play Saturday at Rosemary every week, and it's always fucking slams. Like
They always have a line down the
music
street, around
always
the corner.
sounds incredible. There's a line. There's not only a line to get in the building. There's another line to get up to the rooftop. Like they just crush it.
And that's a good sized venue. I mean, how many people?
Massive.
That's
Yeah, it's pretty
That
damn big.
venue
300
split
people?
up. That venue split up amongst two houses, a backyard, and a patio.
And now
Yeah.
they're taking over the parking lot.
parking lot,
next
every
to their
Friday, Saturday.
courtyard, which is where they
Yeah.
sell.
because the
now
one time that I
they
was
just
there
roll
was
the
for
fence-
that,
they
that
roll the
Red Bull
fences out.
event.
Yeah.
And that's when you were there. That
Yep.
was like the first time that we met.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a fucking big spot because they have that whole like backyard.
It didn't used to be all that. It just used to be the house.
Used to be the
Okay.
first house,
Yeah.
and
But
then they
even
expanded
then-
to the patio.
Even
They
then,
had
just the
codes
house
issues
would be
with
packed
the-
out.
Then they
The
bought
back
Beauty
bar
Queen.
and the rooftop. They had codes issues. Finally got that settled, and that's when they really just blew up.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
but I
it's
mean,
a dope
like,
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my
Those,
favorite bar
like-
to go to if I'm off.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, those guys
It's
are
really
like,
the only bar I go to.
it's in East Nashville. It's in like a locals area part of town, but you can see like there's just vibes there all the time, and they're never playing for themselves. Jeremy is like,
That's because
always,
it's
like,
two veteran DJs.
there's sometimes I'll go to Coach and I'll like be waiting to say hi to him. I gotta wait 3 fucking songs. I'm
Yeah.
standing in front of him.
Yeah, if he's
because
just fucking in his zone.
locked in,
Yeah.
like he just doesn't even notice.
Like their whole thing is like they don't really play top 40 on
No.
Saturdays either.
Ever.
Like they stay away
I've
from
never
it.
heard a top 40 song in there ever. I don't think
Yeah.
once. And it's
Coach
always
plays
good.
vibes.
It
But
always
it's
feels
good.
good.
back
It's
and
good. Like
fucking R&B shit
good
or
B
what?
sides.
And they'll do like vibey stuff, like Sophie Tucker type
Okay.
tracks,
Yeah.
Knox and stuff like that. But they stay away from like the mainstream top 40.
Yeah.
But they do that every
You're not gonna
even-
hear
even-
Drake back to
even-
back to
No,
back.
not at all.
Even Thursday nights, like Jeremy plays a
And that's the way the
B-side
ownership wants
party.
it.
Yeah, he plays a B-side party every Thursday night, where it's just all B-sides. Like nobody knows like real
It's all
hidden
deep album
gems.
cuts
For
of
for
hip-hop.
people that don't
Yeah.
know what vinyl turntablism is, what is a B side?
You can say that because you're a DJ.
I mean,
Why are you
Rod
asking
just
a
kinda- all the,
non-DJ?
all the
It's a
deep cuts.
non-single.
Yeah.
He just wanted
Yeah.
to see if he could explain it.
It's the
Yeah.
album
No,
cuts,
I-
album cuts that weren't singles.
Yeah,
Yeah, just in case people didn't
it's
know
the
what
stuff that
was.
wasn't mainstream. That's
Yeah,
hidden gems, but are still bangers.
The
Like,
stuff from the album that you didn't hear on the radio.
yeah.
it was on the flip side, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine all the Wale mixtapes that
record.
never were released to the public. Moose will second that.
Yeah, I second that. Anything you say about Wale, I'll second.
I forget Moose is
I
the
love
young
it.
in here, so yeah, Moose. It would be on the other side of the record.
On the flip side, I heard you, Dad.
Okay.
On the
can't-
flip side,
can't
he said
pronounce
he
side
had to
of the
say
MP3.
on the record, so he didn't
Yeah.
sound so
He can't
lame.
pronounce other, so he said other.
You flipped the MP3 over.
Yeah, I heard you. Flip my hit clip over real
You can
quick.
flip a CD over? Damn, I didn't know that.
That's funny.
He just plugs
Flip a
it-
laser disc.
plugs the USB on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
laptop. It's like, oh, it's flip side, right? But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we want to go with this. So kind of, obviously, you guys are getting booked and playing in the scene, and I'm not booking as much now because my venue doesn't. The restaurant group I'm with right now doesn't do DJs. We're probably going to talk about doing something really like small scale at my location just because I've been approved for that budget. But I mean, what are you guys feeling? You guys are playing in the scene 4 or 5 times a week. What's the feedback you're getting from guests at venues? What's the feedback you're getting from management, if you're getting any at all? I mean, I know there's venues that people play at 3 times a week and they never see a manager. They never know who the manager is because there's no real distinction on who that is. And, you know, there's the 4-story venues that have
So much managerial turnover in Nashville too.
Yeah, there's the 4-story venues that have one manager that floats up and down. And Rod will tell you, at Paradise, we had every Friday, Saturday night, I knew I was going to have 3 managers on staff. So, like, one manager, each person was in charge of a floor.
A floor, yeah.
And typically, always, I was on the roof. That was my baby. We were doing $8,000 on a Saturday before I moved back, and we were doing $28,000 after I moved back. Like, we created the DJ roster, got rid of the bands on the stage that they built, put a couple speakers in, and we just fucking literally blew the roof off. Like, the pavers broke. So, and like DJs that were playing at Whiskey Row, like Luke when he was playing, and whomever else, Josh Hish would like text me from across the street and like wave to me, you know, during the sets, and I would text him and be like, "Hey, turn your fucking music down," because.
Then you had Alan Jackson next door complaining about our music.
Yeah, oh my God, dude. The lady that was the director of events would come over on Friday at like 8 o'clock at night and say, "Hey, your music's really loud. Do you mind turning it down?" I'm like, "Hey, do you mind not booking a single acoustic act on a Friday night and you're surrounded by rooftops with DJs and you got the balls to pull me away from the business to ask me to turn it down?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, you turn your shit up and turn the speakers the other way. Put up your like plastic tent. I don't care. I don't care what you're doing. Here, you need some plastic silverware. Take that for your event because you didn't order the right shit. Now get out of my building." It was nuts.
So you guys can see how Travis is as a person and a manager.
Yeah.
Passionate.
Professional, passionate.
No filter.
I don't have a filter, that's for sure. So yeah, like you guys kind of give me some feedback on what you're seeing, what you're feeling, both as, you know, in the DJ's shoes, if you're just there hanging out, like what is the feedback on venues? And obviously you can call them out, you can not call them out. I don't really care either way. You know, I'll always call them out. So just like, yeah, just give me.
Moose, where do you like to go when you're not on the clock?
Where do I like to go?
Let's leave Tin Roof out of it because we all love Tin Roof.
Yeah, that's true.
We know Josh is very hands-on. We all love Josh. That venue runs the way it does for a reason, and we all know it. We all go there. Almost all of us go there at least once a week.
Yeah, I still can't get booked there, but you know.
Yeah, it's rough. Josh.
I used to go there 3 nights a week when I was in college. It's been there that long.
Tough.
Yeah. So like let's leave that one specific one out because we know that's the spot. And Connor's a resident there, Moose is a resident there, Dex can't get booked there.
I guess I can't get booked there either.
Yeah, I think they have an age limit.
Damn.
Almost there.
God,
Connor's
that's so
almost there.
fucking
Connor's
rude,
almost
dude.
phased out.
Yeah. So yeah, let's
time,
talk.
next time you ask me, I'll throw your name in there.
DJing.
Are you wearing Air Monarchs back there? Like, no, bitch. He's a Yeezys.
Nice Dex.
I got a fucking pair in the closet. I'll put them on right now.
So yeah, just like leave Tin Roof out of it because again, we all love it. It's a vibe. We all love the bartenders. We know everyone there. So let's talk about other places downtown, other places in Midtown, places in the East Side.
Well, like Moose, as far as you right now, like where are you mainly just booked through Premiere?
No,
What
I do.
else?
So like all the stuff I do through Premiere is mostly weddings. Every once in a while, like Bill's the guy that does all the booking over there, and like he said something to me the other day, and I was like, dude, it's about to be wedding season. He's like, I feel bad for not getting you on the schedule. It's like we have a few DJs to pick from. I'm good. Like it's not like I have a completely full schedule every day of the week, but I every once in a while get thrown on like Lucky Bastard, or I was playing HQ before they decided to just like demolish the inside. Did you hear about the inside of that, by the way?
No,
they just
I heard
like
that they
demolished.
just, like,
like,
closed and fucking
absolutely
flipped,
They
like,
moved the whole building.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
thought
all
they
Yeah,
were
but the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that worked there had a fun time with it before they left.
There's a
Yeah,
concrete
it was
slab.
wild.
I opened HQ.
No shit. Well, I
So
damn
did-
near closed it.
I remember
What's up?
when they,
So
they
did
used to
Brandon
have the
Frito.
Savage Bingo there. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was Brandon's gig. I
Yeah.
tried to bring it to Paradise.
I mean, I thought it was a cool spot in general, but it was you never really knew what to play because like different. I don't know. Anyway, I played there sometimes. I play Whiskey River sometimes. Nowhere else on Broadway except Tin Roof, Broadway, and then obviously second home, and then
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. I'm actually there.
Lucky Bastard. Do you still play
Shit,
there
this
at all?
won't be. Yeah, every once in a while. I just played there 2 weeks ago. I think I'm playing there in a couple more weeks. And then Kung Fu, I'm playing Thursday and then tomorrow. And then...
So what's your experience been like?
Overall, like I said earlier, I do kind of feel like privileged and lucky a little bit, because like the way I got into Tin Roof was, I explained that on the last one, but it's just like very lucky, like in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people. Connor helped me a lot, and then after that got to kind of branch out, meeting a guy like Trav. Like he helped me immediately. Like he was talking shit when I first met him, and he was like, "Oh, you want to DJ full time?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, I'll help you make that happen."
He thought I was kidding, and then I got him a residency.
I was like, this
and then
dude
I got
had too
another
many.
one.
This dude had too many White Walkers on a Sunday at Tin Roof, and like he's talking shit. And like, I mean, there was a lot of things that played into it, but in 6 months I was full time DJ.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm not gonna give 100%, but I'll give you a good bit.
I'll just take 10. That's fine.
I'll give you a good bit, but
You can back pay him his
I mean-
manager's cut.
I've asked
up,
several
Dex.
times. I'm like, damn, as a homie, like, you know, you could. I know
damn,
what you
Uncle
could
Sam's
pay.
already coming for
Let me
my
get my
shit. Calm
10%,
down,
you know?
cuz.
Yeah, fuck.
Wet my beak. But I mean, overall, it's been different because through Premiere, it's obviously different. Like Bill books it, and then I show up, so that's on you. Like kind of what we talked about last time. It's like on you to show up early or on a day off and like talk to the bartenders, meet them, tell them you DJ up there, and like meet the managers and introduce yourself. But overall, it's a bit. I a lot of times walk in not knowing what people want, expect, or where kind of general things a lot. I don't know. I don't go out a lot and party. I love to party, but I'm 100 or 0. I'm 0 to 100 real quick. So it doesn't usually end up that well. So DJing helps me taper everything. And then I don't know. Everybody's really been overall great. Josh, obviously, you said leave Tin Roof out of it. I mean, you at 5 points, that was great. It's more about just communication, and the more people communicate. Jimmy at Tin Roof is awesome. Man, I was the one that said let's not name drop, and I'm just not dropping names. But it's all good stuff. Like, I don't know. As long as it comes down to like how well do they communicate, really. And then at the end of the day, when you show up, you feel better or worse about the gig when you show up. Like, because like we talked about last time, you show up sometimes feeling just like, am I cool to like go play, or like is anybody?
I think that
can I
says
have
more
water?
about the venue caring more about the DJ and like what actually is being played and stuff, not just being like, all right, show up, play, here's your money.
Well, I think also too, like, I was the one that said leave Tin Roof out of it, but I'll bring them up for a second because Connor knows I have a rule: Friday, Saturday, late night, I do not go there unless I walk in with him. It's just a rule. I don't want to go in front of the line. I know KO. I love him. I love all their security guards. They'll always let me just walk right in. It's just not really my thing. Like, I don't want to do that. But like, that's a place where security, if it's busy, they'll walk Connor through the crowd with a light to get him to the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they know he's got a backpack, they know he's got his shit. It's expensive, it's breakable, whatever. And I think like
You bring gear there?
I usually, well,
she just has a
keep it
backpack.
there.
His
Yeah.
is usually there.
I usually
yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah.
But like, I think of like back in DC
I didn't know if I
clubs,
should say that recorded or not.
DJ shows up, we know like someone's leaving the door and they're escorting them to the back.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that very often anywhere else. I mean, do you get to go to the elevator? Yeah, sure, but you got to still walk through the crowd of 300 people to get to that elevator, and it's still a bitch. Like, even going there as like a friend, it's still kind of a pain in the ass. And I just think, like Connor said, that's the venue just caring and understanding, like, hey, if you are good, you make us more money, everyone's happier, we have a better time, blah, blah, blah. And that's just them acknowledging that versus what you get on Broadway a lot where it doesn't really fucking matter.
And it's not really anything specific, like walking you to the elevator. It's like, do you ever like and or repost the flyers I make? Do you ever, does the manager come up and introduce themselves if we don't know each other while I'm
Yeah.
playing? Do they do? It's not anything specific. It's just, and really that's what it boils down to is, do you give a shit?
I'll
Like,
say-
do you care?
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
played so many gigs where I have no clue who the manager is.
That's wild,
And I'll
isn't it?
never see one, and I'll just leave and be like, well, I guess I did okay. I didn't hear anything bad.
See, that's what I think is like the strangest thing
So weird.
here, where it's like since basically everything is booked through agencies, you're literally just sent there to show up.
A puzzle piece.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't already know people prior, like
You don't
I
bring
can't
value.
tell you how, I've never met a manager at like any of the hotel gigs that I've
Yeah.
been to. I am someone that like goes out of my way though. Like I'll go out of my way to like before I start, I'll go
That's
to the bar.
because you were a manager before.
Yeah. And I'll go to the bar and be like, hey, I'm Declan, like I'm DJing here. What's your name? What's your name? And I literally like have a note sheet that I write down the staff's name.
I started doing that. Yeah.
Where that
That's
way,
what we were
like
talking
next
about
time I
last
go,
time,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
like, all right, this person bartender, this person server, this person manager, and I just keep a note of it because that way, next time that I'm there, it might be next week, it might not be for a month and a half. Where then I go back and I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't remember this one person's name that I talked to, so I'll check the notes and then remember, and then they're like, oh shit, you remember my name.
Mm-hmm. It's
But
the
other-
little things.
Like if you wouldn't do that though, if you don't go out of your way to do that, guarantee the majority of spots they're not even talking to the DJ.
No, not at all.
Where that's something that's so different in like Milwaukee and Chicago because you're being booked
By the venue.
by the venue, by the managers, by the owners, and also vice versa to that. Like you're also seeing those managers and owners out on other nights. And that's more than likely the reason why you're getting booked is because they came to another venue, they heard you at that venue, and they're like, yo, let's connect. We want to bring you over to
Yeah.
said venue.
Yeah.
They're out supporting other places and
And that's how like I know every single person in the service industry in Milwaukee.
I
From
mean, when we saw that,
30
when we
different
went
bars.
to Chicago for a few days.
Yes. Like
Darren
you guys
showed
went
us
with Darren,
around,
yeah.
but by like day 2 or day 3, if we weren't with Darren, everyone remembered us, and it didn't matter.
No,
They were
yeah,
like, "Yo,
yeah.
like, you guys are the Nashville boys. Like, yeah, come on in. We'll buy you a shot. We'll buy you whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just But that's how DC is too. Like I don't tell you, we stood at a bar at Heist in DC for hours.
Yeah.
And
But
I was
that's what
like-
I think is the
I'm
biggest
like,
difference.
Rob, take my money. Rob's like, no, your money's not good here.
I think that's also how Nashville used to be before Nashville became the its city
Before
that
it became
is.
Broadway.
Yeah.
You think it's just too commercialized?
I'll
or
say
like,
like the
I just think nobody cares, bro.
I think the
because you're always
staff-
gonna make money no matter what.
I think the staff does. Like the staff that I've introduced myself to, they remember me every time. Like whether I'm at Whiskey Row or like even just the few times that I've played Barstool now, it's like since I've gone out of my way to introduce myself, then like the next time I'm there, he's like, oh, what's going on? Like, or even like security will be like, oh, what's going on? We're like, we were just at Whiskey Row the other week, and that's kind of what happened with like the bartender
Yeah,
there, where
yeah.
I went to get a drink, and it was like me, Maddie, and 2 of my friends from Milwaukee, and she was like, oh yeah, you DJ here, like, and remembered me just from
Right.
like the one time,
Right.
and just kind of hooked it up with the drink. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
Like,
girl.
I was like, now this
thank you.
this is what like feels more like home.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's funny because you guys can talk from your perspective of like never really hearing from a manager. I'll never forget the night. This is a little
Just
Just
open
crack it.
Just hold it up to the mic.
Let her rip.
the night that
ad break.
Deep Tropics was playing at Proof when I was managing there. And Rod, I think I told you this story. There was a female DJing from Deep Tropics. I don't remember her name. Nice.
Where was this? Was at the W?
At the W in Proof. And I remember she played 2 hours straight, no vocals. It's a Saturday
Yeah, I remember you
night.
telling
Oh, I remember you telling me
Saturday
this.
night.
house music, huh?
And I go to her and I was like, hey, my name's Travis. I'm the GM up here. Like, so good to meet you. Thanks for coming out tonight. And she's like, oh, yeah, good to meet you. Like, such and such is my name, blah, blah, blah. I was like, cool. I was like, hey, like, I know you're doing your thing, but if you could play, like, anything with vocals, that'd be sick. Because this isn't a music festival.
Because we're not at Deep Tropics
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm like, give me some vocals.
that would be sick.
Her response to me,
you don't have anything.
she says, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. Was her exact words. I was like, you know that I have to approve you being booked here, right? So you're never going to get booked here again. And she like didn't have a comeback for me. She wasn't booked there again when I was there. But like that was her response instead of like I think of that like you guys are saying you most times never meet a manager, but then when a manager goes out of their way to talk to a DJ, that's how they're spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to unplug her shit until I go home, because I could have turned on house music that had vocals and been fine, and paid her less and sent her out the fucking fire escape.
I think that's sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's a major difference between DJ producers that are there to play like their artist set and DJs that are there to make the bar money and play the venues vibe, venues
How many
programming, etc.
If we have 50 venues in town, and if you guys are thinking, Dex, obviously your brain is management. Rod, you've been director of entertainment at several venues throughout your career. If we've got 50 venues in town, how many venues do DJs play at where they care about the business?
I mean, I'd like to say I care about every single one that I'm at. Like the
Right,
ones
but
that
I'm
I've
saying,
looked
like,
at.
I'm saying overall. So if there's a venue and they've got 10 DJs booked
Yeah.
a week, but they've only got one that gives a shit about the business, so they're at 10%.
Yeah.
And then you've got all these other venues. Let's say there's 500 gigs a week booked at 15 different venues, but there's only 10 DJs that give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really low percentage. And I think that, we've had the discussion where in a world that we ever got into that realm of things, and where we're booking and helping create a connection and create communication and a relationship and those kind of things, I think that's when like we approach the venues and we have to be there for them, right? Because there's, DJs will talk about it all the time and, yeah, man, I'm there for them and I'm there for it, but like they're not. Like, you're there doing whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. If you start at 10, you show up at 9:55, you rush to the bar, take 2 shots, then you get to start your set at 10:01. You're not there for the venue. Like if you're not there,
And you just played 5 songs that the previous DJ
yeah,
just played.
you're not there 20 or
you
30
weren't there
minutes before
to
because
listen to them
you
before,
didn't hear
yeah.
what they were playing. Like, and that was one of the things at Paradise where Danny played every Friday before Coach. And it just became Coach was always there 45 minutes to an hour early, same as Rod on a Saturday. But Danny just did a really good job complimenting where he wouldn't play, like he would play bangers, but he wouldn't play
Yeah, you're not
the
burning
real
them.
bangers that Jeremy's going to play right after. And it was very rare that we, I guess you would call it cross swords, damn near, where they weren't doing that throughout the night. And I thought it was like a really cool thing because Danny was so... He respected Coach so much that he's like, I'm not gonna step on his toes. Like I am here as the opener.
But he also probably understands how to set up.
Right.
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
night,
matter
for
who
sure.
it is.
Like,
Danny
That just comes with experience to be the
Yeah.
DJ. I mean, Rod
I used
usually
to
would
call-
show
I
up
used
an
to-
hour before
I
I
used
got
to call
done.
Connor the best opener in Nashville because he'd open for Rod. I'd be like, thanks so much, Connor, for your 6:30 to 10:30 set. I appreciate you today.
Connor's like, thanks for that easy paycheck.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I loved it. I mean, get them hype and then pass it off. I don't
Yeah.
mind it.
But I think that that's where the community is losing the vision as a whole, whether it be DJs, whether it be managers, whether it be whatever. And I can't get on a laptop and push buttons. I probably if I wanted to learn in a few weeks, I probably could, because there's times now when Connor will ask me on a Sunday at Tin Roof, like, what should I play next? I'll be, oh, this will go well next, because you listen to it all the time.
I said 75% of the
like
job
it.
is being able to pick the
Yeah.
music.
Sometimes I'm just like, hey, what are you feeling?
Yeah,
And,
just random shit.
I'll ask the
That's-
people
yeah.
standing beside me, and
Like,
I'll
what do you want to hear?
It's
Yeah.
and sometimes I'm just trying to challenge myself to transition into
Right.
something that
Yeah.
probably would never transition to.
They might
But
throw
I
you
think
something
that's
too.
creating a connection, right? Like that's doing something, whether he asks me or whether he asks some other friends that are around him all the time. Like that's still just creating an environment of inclusivity. You're not putting yourself above anyone. Connor plays on that fucking plastic table every Sunday, and I hate it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get
I only
it.
use it because of the height.
Yeah, and that's great.
That's
but
fine. Get ones
every
more
time you go to
sturdy.
the bathroom, I gotta save 4 drunk girls from falling on top of everything.
No, dude, those turntables are heavy enough. It'll fucking keep it weighted down.
That
way,
table
brother.
is light
That
enough. It'll
table is
collapse
light.
with
It's
a
a lifetime table.
blow of the wind.
Yeah, Lifetime. It's
Oh.
like from Channel 17 watching a Lifetime movie.
I think that table is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then
What
there's
was
Luna.
that,
A
Luna?
little too deep.
Fucking
I know the feeling.
ball.
I know the feeling. I'm playing my toys at home.
Try to put it on the right side. It fell to the left.
It sounded like it.
Does
didn't
that
it?
happen when you
literally
brush your teeth, Moose?
Hey, how are you? That was just her spitting the ball
Her
out.
gag ball got in the way.
I'll have to cut all that out.
Leave it in.
Leave the ball throw up it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 'Cause who knows?
That's a funny little
Should be
blooper.
right on that camera too.
Who knows if it was actually Luna? Nobody knows.
Just somebody's random gag.
Nobody's
That was-
I'm just gonna keep the audio in and just say it was Connor.
Cut to that camera angle though,
That was
because
a
everyone will
blur.
think it's me.
I feel like that'd be a funny blooper. man.
I think that like that's where we got to get back to, like people giving a shit about the venue, and I think,
And the venue giving a shit too.
yeah, and the
People
venue giving a
caring
shit too. I mean,
People
Connor-
taking gigs they should take.
yeah,
Complacency is a killer.
But I think so much of that comes in hand with these booking agencies is that it takes so much of a load off of management and everyone else, which is
It's something that they don't have to worry about.
exactly
how
and
much of a load
But it's
is
something.
it?
It's
that-
something they should worry about.
and
Like,
that's what
it's
I
something
get.
they should.
I get like, for me personally, like booking DJs is not fucking hard.
Yeah, how difficult? Like
For the band part, that's where I think
the
it'd be
band
fucking
is
hard.
difficult, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But like, for me, if I was managing a place and we did have an agency, I would still know
Be involved.
I would still know who's playing.
Absolutely.
I would want to be making sure that like social media is still posting and everything is still being promoted right. The people that are playing there, yeah, I know it's not a DJ's job, but like all of us are still promoting
I
the
feel like
events
I
that
feel
we
like
play.
I'm not missing any promotions by not being on social media right now.
You
By
don't?
by
By
venues.
venues?
By venues, I'm not missing anything.
Well, and that's what I've talked
by
about.
you guys as
They
friends.
usually don't
absolutely, I'm
repost
missing your schedules.
much,
Yeah.
I'm missing all that stuff, but
or most
by
places don't
venues,
repost. Like
Nobody
one
gives a
of
shit.
those.
Nobody cares.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit low key bothers me.
It bothers me too.
And
Like
that's
I'm like,
something
man,
I
you
talk
didn't
about.
have to.
me.
You didn't have to do shit, and
It's-
you probably, if you would have hired somebody, especially you as a business, they would have charged you out the ass to make us flyers every week, and we make them. And most of them are fire. Most
Yeah.
of
That's
us
literally
make
what I
pretty good
talked about on a
shit.
previous podcast where I'm like, I think it's crazy that like Nashville venues don't really put out like flyers and stuff on the
because
social
it
media.
doesn't matter.
Also, you
Yes, and
You
that's
look at a city like Vegas. When you land in the airport, it is just
It's literally-
plastered
yeah.
with video.
Okay, so
Advertisements
so is
with
that a
Yeah.
good? Is that a good
Taxis,
argument?
driving
Rod's
with,
on,
like,
Rod's on the
LEDs,
TV
like-
in Vegas.
If you're at B&A, you don't see anything about. You just see Tootsies.
Is that
Yeah.
a good
You don't see-
argument then? Is like that Vegas, like would Vegas have people coming to the bars if they weren't promoting
So
the DJs?
I think
or,
it's a, I think it's
you
a
know what I'm
diff-
saying?
I think it's a different animal. I think that
Obviously,
when
It's
you
more
look
competitive
when
in
you look at the
Vegas, for
when
sure.
you look at the Vegas business model of a nightclub, of the Omnia or whatever else, people save up for 6 months to go blow it at one venue.
they also have 1,000 promoters too.
Correct.
No one in
They've-
Nashville has promoters.
They've got a VIP team lead or VIP manager, director of VIP services. Tao has all of those titles as well, and then under them they've got 12 people. They've got street teams, and I think that that's a big difference. As someone that started as a promoter when I was 17, that's a huge difference, right? Like, but also they're promoting nightclubs. Like you're paying a cover to get in. You need to be dressed right. You need to do all those things. The only places that have dress codes in town here are places that their security couldn't keep people from fighting, so they had to instill a dress code. So like, Nudies became, for a little while, the venue that like was ghetto or ratchet or whatever. So all of a sudden,
They had, like, a strict dress
they
code and no
we
rap."
we cut out white tees and black tees and no shorts and no tank tops. So now we're gonna be fine. That's what they did. Like that's silly. Like going into a venue, we joked about it before we started. I went to DLS one night and the guy said, "Oh yeah, man, no more hats." I'm like, I'm not wearing a backwards hat looking like a fucktard. I'm wearing a normal baseball cap. Like I like walked in and was like, all right, cool. Now my hair looks stupid because I've been wearing a hat all fucking day. And I just walked in and your venue is pitch black, so nobody can even see that I'm wearing a hat.
And you wear
and there's
hats
5 people in here with a hat on anyway.
5 people in here with a hat on, and
that
they
shit
have it on
fucking
backwards.
pisses me off.
And I even said to
can't
the
stand
GM
that
who I
shit.
know, I'm like, hey man, like
I had to do that
really
actually at
no
that
hats?
specific venue one night.
Yeah.
I think I was with you guys when we went to see Diesel one night, like late, and we were just going a bunch of places. And we walked in, and I'm like, they just fucking told me to take my hat off, and there's
Yeah.
6 people in here with a fucking hat on.
Also,
Like,
security.
I put it right back on my head.
Security, get your game together, because if you were in a real city like DC or Vegas, you just charge the dude $20 to wear a fucking hat. You tell him it's fine, and that's how you get paid.
It's
So yeah,
nice
I think that
beats.
like, again, just kind of getting back to it. I think that that's where the venues need to care. The managers need to introduce themselves. They need to talk to DJs. Tell the DJ too if they got a damn comp tab.
Man, this comes all the way back to the fucking point that you brought up about people not wanting to tell people that they work at the bar in Nashville.
Bro.
No, I'm a singer. I'm an artist. I'm a
Bullshit.
whatever.
You make $130,000 a year working 4 nights a week.
Right,
You're a
but
fucking bartender.
they don't care. That's the point. That
Yeah,
comes
there's no
back down to
pride.
your
There's
same
just no-
point. Like if
there's
you're
just no
not telling
pride.
anyone, even if you make $130,000 at the bar,
Yeah.
and you're still not telling people that you work at the bar, you definitely don't care about the place that you work at.
Yeah, there's just no pride. Like
I would argue that the few people that do say that they are bartenders are trying to get into management, or they're trying to manage, or stuff like that.
I think
Gotcha.
like
And not focused on another career like an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of bars and, you know, obviously being behind the bar all the time. I think of like fruit fly issues, something small. I go to Tin Roof once a week, like most people do. Never see fruit flies there.
On a venue that literally has doors open all the
Open.
time.
Yeah,
busy
and a
as
bunch
hell.
of wild ass people.
Fucking Maddie.
That was a dramatic drop.
Yeah.
Our deep house is about to come in. Hold on.
But yes, I get what you're saying.
But
I
like,
mean, that's a venue
you go into a venue like that, it's sloppy.
I never
They-
even thought
they
about
close
that.
the beer wells down and put cardboard boxes on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no covers. There's no anything. That's it. It's wet paper. There's still no fruit flies. There's still no like filth. And then you go into a high-end venue or a higher-end venue, and you see fruit flies flying around all the bottles. Sometimes you get a shot with a fruit fly in it, and like I'm thinking like you're gonna charge
For
me
$10.
$20 for this shot of
Oh
tequila.
yeah, on Broadway.
That Tin Roof should have charged me $8 for,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm definitely not gonna have a fruit fly from there. So like that's where the pride thing comes in, right? Like from management, from every aspect, management, bartenders, bar
Well, that's
backs,
like we were talking about earlier.
et cetera, et cetera.
It's top down.
Yeah, is the equipment
It's top down.
Is the equipment put together? Like Rod will tell you, and Connor can tell you too. Like Paradise Park, we did not have great equipment. What I sent you a photo when I found that mixer
Yeah, just covered in dust and
in
laid
the
up
third
against the corner of a
in the
storage
third
room.
in the third floor storage room. I was like, hey, is this mixer good? And he's like, yeah, it's only like $2,500 brand new. It looks like it's never been touched. I was like,
I came across
Cool.
a photo when I had to throw the mixer underneath the table because it started to rain, and those umbrellas were not covering me.
yeah, they didn't cover shit. There was a night.
And you know I need the
there
umbrellas
was a
because I
night
was sunburned up there.
There was a night I pulled Rod inside and
Yeah, you guys
outside
are yeah.
4 times. And so I
remember you
finally
talking
said,
about
Rod,
that.
I will
You're
not
like,
do this
no
again.
more.
Yeah.
You're staying in here. I know you don't want to be on the floor level, but I don't care. But I think if you're a booking agency, it also needs to be from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
As a booking agency, you need to be reaching out to the managers that you're booking for.
Correct.
And I know, like Rod brought up the point earlier, and we talked about this before we recorded, management is super transient. It's always ever changing. There needs to be a group email that says Venue A managers. And that's, as a booking agency, that's who you email the schedule to. And then they post it in the back of house. If they've got 5 floors, print out 10 copies, post it on both fucking sides of your back of house, and make sure everyone knows who's playing, where they're playing, how they're playing, etc.
I feel like that gives you something to promote too, where it's like, all right, cool. Now all the staff can.
Yeah, I know my homie's playing here. Instead of Connor walking in at 6 o'clock and then being like, "No, what are you doing here?" And Connor's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing tonight." They're like, "Oh, dude, I would have fucking told people to come through. Like, I love your music." Or Dex being at a venue and being at the bar and the GM being like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing here?" You like,
Yeah.
If I'm understanding you right, you're just saying there shouldn't be a quality control drop off if a booking company takes over.
100%. And the quality control is non-existent right now.
would
I
agree
can
with
say that from a management perspective, from a spectator perspective, from a guest perspective, whatever.
Not everywhere in Nashville, but a lot of places just don't follow up.
Nobody knows
in
what
that
the
in
hell's
that
going on.
department.
So then I think like, okay, these out of town groups, the This Is Bookable or the Gig Finesse, and like, good job, you guys got contracts in town, but how are you doing quality control?
They
Well,
don't.
and that's what I don't understand because like a gig finesse, I played at like the only venue they book is Pushing Daisies.
Yeah.
I literally played there
Sorry, Lee.
once on Cinco de Mayo, and entire like management talked to me after. They're like, "Yo, like this was fucking awesome. You did great." Like management pulled me into his office. And he's like, "I want to have you here again." Apparently, that manager quit. Like,
They're about to be on their
Fucking,
fifth.
like,
They're about
2
to be
weeks
on their
later.
5th GM.
well,
Fifth?
okay, so I didn't,
Fifth.
yeah, and I didn't know that.
I was about to be third since I was
Holy
playing
shit.
there.
They're about to
Yeah.
hire their 5th. They're hiring for their 5th right now.
Well, and then like who I got booked through Gig Finesse called me the next day, and I was DJing. I text her, I'm like, "Hey, I'm DJing. Like, what's going on? Can I call you in like an hour?" Doesn't respond to anything. then I like call her the next day. I'm like, or I just text her the next day. I'm like, hey, everything all right? Like, what'd you call for yesterday? Just completely doesn't answer anything. And then find out that she stopped working at Gig Finesse. So then I was like, all right, like literally no idea who to reach out to anymore. And then apparently that was just like a common trend with them. But I just think it's crazy because they literally have the Gig Finesse is in like New York.
Yeah.
None of them are here ever,
ever.
in Nashville. The DJs that they book, they've fucking never met.
Yep.
They've never heard play. And then they just literally, they get this contract with a venue, which I don't get how, like, as a venue, I don't get how you even take the contract for that. Like,
Yeah.
what is making you agree to take a contract with this company who's non-existent in the city?
Take
They don't
something
know
off your
any of
hands,
the
but
fucking
doesn't know anyone. It
dude.
doesn't
Like,
make sense.
talk to a fucking DJ.
Bless you.
Literally talk to any DJ in the city, and get some point of reference of
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
these are the people we should talk to, and you'll be all right.
I
Just
did
not
only
that,
meet-
but then you're not paying the fucking
Connor plays there quite a bit. Right?
Yeah, and they
Not
don't-
anymore.
they don't
I
pay.
I did meet one of the guys from Gig Finesse.
Oh yeah, he met him too. I remember that.
Through DJ Tanner brought him to one of my gigs at Tenerife on a weekend, and then him and I like got coffee like 2 weeks after that or something like that. But that was before like they were really like booking for real for Pushing Daisies. Like Pushing Daisies was still really new. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's kind of hard to communicate with someone you can't really call.
But you talk about
Yeah.
that stuff,
See.
and then you talk about the venue. So an idea, and this is like some back closet information, and I don't care to share it.
Inside
I
baseball.
mean, I don't care that I'm sharing it. The idea behind Pushing Daisies, when they were opening, I've opened 3 tequila bars in my career. Bless you.
God bless the child.
I knew they were an underground nightclub tequila bar, and I'm like,
super dope venue. I
There's-
fucking love it.
there's
Dude.
great
nobody
place.
else
Yeah,
in this
they're
so
town
dope.
that should run it except me. Like that's how I felt.
Bless you.
I was that confident in it. I love the idea that much. It's a beautiful venue, a beautiful bar. Bless
Can you fucking stop ruining the show? Yeah.
I
Like,
think
we
that's
already
it.
blessed-
I'm
Yeah.
out of
All right, I think that's it. Sorry.
Start back over.
So,
Tell that entire story again.
so,
Your whole face is
so
swollen.
just like the idea of that venue, I wanted to run it. That was like a huge goal of mine.
I'm just gonna cut the scene. I'm gonna be like a
We-
different color.
We had like I had been done with Paradise Park. I knew like there were some other things coming up, whatever. But I was super excited to try to get in that venue. When they opened, they had the same GM running Blanco and Pushing Daisies
At the same time.
at the same time. They didn't hire a GM originally. I was with Two Hands at the time. I was the opening GM there. Sam Fox, the owner of Fox Restaurant Concepts. If you're a bar, restaurateur nerd like I am, you know who it is. He comes into Two Hands, sits down with his right hand woman. I just so happened to be at the host stand. I checked them in. And I'm like, wait, why don't I know your name? And he's like, I don't know. Why do you know my name? And when I left Paradise
you're a
Park,
Be all
nerd.
modest.
when I left Paradise Park, I knew, well, Max Goldberg, one of the owners of Strategic, thought that I was going to work for Sam Fox. He was certain of it. He's like, I thought Sam Fox got you. Thought you were going to 12:30. That would make sense for you, blah, blah, blah. So I remember Sam Fox and his right-hand woman, her name was Amber, they leave. And I said to one of my employees at the time, I'm like, I'm going to get a text or an email from someone with Fox Restaurant Concepts because they asked me what I thought of Pushing Daisies, and I told them I thought it was incredible, but they were not going to hire the right person for the manager. So sure as shit, 2 weeks go by, I get an email from them, and someone says, hey, this doesn't normally happen, but the owners of the company told us to reach out to you. So I'm like, great. I love the venue. I want to run it. Tell me what to do. Tell me what you want me to do. I'll do whatever. I don't care. So I interviewed with 4 separate people on 5 separate occasions. I had an hour and a half Zoom interview on a Friday night, like gave up my Friday night doing anything for the Zoom interview. Then I get a call from the director, regional, whatever he is. And he's like, yeah, man, we're just not ready to pull the trigger. You know, we're about to go into slow season. We don't think we want to spend the money. He says, don't be surprised if I call you back in February. And my exact words to him on the phone was,
Don't be surprised if I have a different job.
don't be surprised if I don't answer your call. And he just kind of choked up on the phone. I'm like, dude, you're going to ask me to come in 5 months later and clean up the mess of some schmuck because you have him spread thin, working 110 hours between 2 venues, because Blanco is on Broadway, like on street level, always busy. I've been in there one time, had a bad experience.
I've never been in
That's
there. Just
I've never been there.
Neither here nor there, but they're always busy. So like, how could you do that to someone? Also, you're asking someone to run a restaurant-heavy concept as well as a nightlife venue. Doesn't
and
make
a
sense.
specialty like
Correct.
cocktail night. Yeah.
With 40 cocktails on the menu.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense. So, fast forward to now, they're hiring again for a GM, and I find it comical because I'm like, you guys have hired all these people that have no experience.
I will say, Pushing Daisies, I played there twice. That was one venue where the managers spoke to me multiple times throughout my
Well,
sets.
they always talk to you. They always talk to you, especially if someone comes up on stage to say hi to you, because they come over and they say,
No,
"Hey,
that's
Connor,
security.
tell this fucktard to get off." No, I've had managers.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I'm just saying hi to my friend, man. They're like,
Yeah,
you
they
can't-
want you to take lunch.
you can't be up here.
Is that well?
Yeah.
Oh, I know which manager you're talking about.
Exactly.
He was working when I played.
Yep.
Boy, that fella looks like he smokes meth.
What was your experience, Rod, when you were playing there?
I liked playing there. I played there twice, but I had the early Saturday shift. So like the first hour you're playing to the staff, then it gets progressively busier as the afternoon goes on. But management came up to me before the set, came up to me during the set, came up to me after the set, told me I did a great job. I was like, cool.
I
And they got
love
great
love
drinks.
that. I love when
Yeah.
people. I love that.
the one set that I
Their
played
venue
there.
is so incredible.
It's awesome.
I
I
just
don't necessarily need them to sing my praise. I just want to know, like, what do you think? Like,
Yeah.
overall,
Any feedback? Like I'm
like
good with
if
any
you don't like the
feedback.
vibe, like just let me know.
Yeah, a
like,
place
hey,
like that has like a direction on their music where it's a certain vibe.
certain
Like, I
idea
want you
behind
to,
the
like,
whole bar.
At least confirm to me that I'm staying within that parameter of the vibe you want, and they did, which was what I always want to hear.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely our job to, get a little creative and push it a little bit and
Which
try
I think is
different
one of the number
things.
one issues in Nashville is DJs taking gigs they shouldn't be taking.
Yeah.
Well, and also
I think
not
I went
being
to, I think Connor and I went
coachable
to
in
a
the
show like
situation
that
that they
not
are.
long ago.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but yeah. there
Well,
was a-
being coachable comes down to being able to like take critique, and
That's what I'm
are you
saying,
a
like-
lot of people just
and not having an
But
ego, not getting your butt hurt
taking
when
those
someone
gigs
tells
at
you to do what to
first
do.
If you know that you shouldn't be taking it, like if it's a turntablist DJ and you've never played on turntables, don't take the fucking gig.
And if it's a gig where they don't want top 40, they all want like vibey, funk,
Specific,
or house
yeah.
remixes.
Yeah.
That's not what you do. Don't take that gig.
I'm just gonna say.
But then at the same
as
time, like if you can
non-DJ
play everything, like if you're an open format
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah, play
but it
whatever.
is a venue that's more like Latin heavy and more house heavy, and they give you some feedback, then run with it.
Yeah.
Don't be like fuck you, like the lady that you were talking about, where she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do
There's
that.
been
Yeah.
plenty of gigs I've passed off to other homies who I know would do it better. It's
Yeah.
okay to say no.
He sent
Yeah.
me to other people.
But
I'm
it
like,
is-
Rob,
I don't know
gig.
if
He's
it
like,
was-
nah, I don't just.
I don't know if
get
it was
such
at
and
the
such.
beginning of the episode or like right before we started recording, but talking about like some people just like they're not in that position to. I mean,
Financially.
from us
Financial
looking at it,
position to
exactly.
say
From
no.
us looking at
Yeah.
it, we're like, man, to respect everything that's going on here, like maybe don't do that gig. That's not for you. But,
But I
they're
will
like, that's a
say-
payday.
That just
As
goes to
someone. I'm never gonna go. I'm never. MGM's not gonna call me and offer me a GM or director of operations around a whole.
But if they
venue.
did, you wouldn't say no.
I probably would say I'm probably not the right fit. Why am I gonna go, be engulfed and super overwhelmed and work 100 hours a week?
A lot
fail?
of people wouldn't. That's my point.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
old. I'm mature. I understand where I'm at in my career. But I will say, as not a DJ, I went to a show a few weeks ago. There were DJs that had less than 4-figure followers playing before someone that had over 3 million followers. You don't belong in the same room. And,
Who
and
played
that's-
in Nashville
that's-
with
I mean, I don't
over
really
3
think,
million
I don't
followers?
really think
That's-
followers
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's
has
a
to do
follower
with
thing.
it.
Well, yes and no. I mean, there are people that obviously purchase followers, but
Yeah.
someone that's like maybe has had one single residency in Nashville has had. The reality is there were 3 people, maybe 4 max, in the city
That should
should
have
have
been
been
doing it.
playing.
Yeah.
That was it. One of them's on the couch right now.
Yeah.
Another one is a guy that was almost on the couch but has too many kids.
Mm-hmm.
And another guy's his best friend that
Yeah.
plays with him every Saturday night, and now plays on Twitch only Friday nights because
He makes that much
so
fucking
much
money on it, yeah.
to DJ with his kids at his feet.
Yeah.
Like that's 3 out of 4 of the guys,
Mm-hmm.
and the 4th one, if there is a 4th one, it's a stretch 4th one. It's like a utility player on a fantasy football team. And I think to myself, like, one, as a venue, excuse my French, how the fuck do you let that happen?
they also misadvertised the
They misadvertise.
they
the show.
misadvertised
They
the
fucking
show.
dropped
I
the
want
ball
to
on
I want
that
to
shit.
I want to throw that in there. They
They said it
definitely
was an artist
misadvertised
performance,
it.
not a DJ performance. It was just all kind of bullshit. Security didn't even scan our tickets when we walked in.
Yeah, it was very.
Oh, so you paid for tickets and you didn't even need to.
Didn't need to.
No.
Yeah.
We could have had a screenshot of any Ticketmaster ticket.
I mean, a lot of it comes down
And
to
they probably
which
let us
a
right
lot
in.
of things in this city come down to. It's money and it's who you know
It's
and
connection,
politics
yeah.
and connections.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, don't be big, don't be too big for your britches. And I know that, you know, maybe you're not in a financial space to say no all the time, but don't go play something you shouldn't play, not do a great job, and then lose another opportunity because you were just swimming with the sharks instead of swimming in the kiddie pool. And again, that's no like
Bars.
that's no dig at anyone. That's no like no disrespect to anyone. It's truly just like understand where you are. And you know, I could say the same thing. Like again, if MGM calls me today and asks me to come run their casino in Vegas, I'm gonna say no. There's no, even if you throw $500K at me, like there's no reason I would want that job.
I'll tell you why. $500K.
Yeah, but that's for me. It's not for the money. Like we
Yeah.
talk about all the time. Like
500K,
when you get,
and you have to figure out why they got hacked.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we already talked about my technological difficulties, so I got nothing. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Control Alt Delete. Get the packer out.
You got to try turning it off and on again?
Did you unplug it, plug it back in?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you did turn it off. Just unplug it.
Yeah.
Dude. Just unplug all the
Dude,
cables.
you just
Wait
leave it
10
unplugged
seconds, plug it
15
back
seconds.
in.
Yeah.
Unplug the casino and plug it back in.
Right. Just tell everyone to get out and come back in 15 minutes. It'll all be fine.
Hard
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah, maybe it's a weight on the floor distribution thing. It's fucking it all up.
But it seemed like walking into a corporate event. And that just goes back to it being mispromoted,
Right.
misadvertised, rather.
Even in the sense of that, the venue wasn't prepared for that kind of event. Like Connor and I walked in. We stopped at the very first bar on the backside of Wild Horse. If you've never been to Wild Horse, it's massive. It holds thousands of people. Mm-hmm. And
They have 3 bars on the first floor. I'm sure they have some upstairs. We didn't go upstairs.
Yeah. So we stopped at the very first bar, and when we wanted a drink, like it took us a good 30 minutes or so. It probably wasn't until like our third round where the girl was like, she could probably tell we were tipping a little bit better than most people. But there was, I mean, I wrote in my review like of Wild Horse Saloon, there were receipt papers everywhere on the floor. It was a fucking mess because those people had never bartended.
They get their
for an
ass
event
handed to them?
like that. Yeah.
They're probably not used to the volume over there. I mean,
They
no offense
shouldn't
to
have,
them.
because
but-
it really
They've
wasn't
had
that-
issues before anytime they have a large, like,
Yeah.
promoted show that's not one of theirs.
It really,
Like, I know they had big electronic shows there in the past.
Yeah, because
And the bar
isn't
had
that where
issues.
Diplo was
Diplo
at?
played, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked back and saw the flyer for
it
Diplo.
wasn't that busy, but it was, I mean, it was probably busier than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Because no offense to
Did
them, but
anyone
they
go to the
bartended
Diplo
Wild
show?
Horse for a reason.
Did y'all go to the Diplo show?
I've never been there before.
No.
I didn't
I know
go either.
Darren did.
But I heard Ben Mayo went and he was not happy with when he bought a ticket right when they came out and then hearing what
It was
people
$20
paid.
before he walked
Did-
in.
Yep.
Oh, so his ticket was more than what it would have been just
A
Same
saying.
thing
lot
happened
more.
to you?
Our fucking
Yeah.
ticket, our tickets were $150
Our,
bucks.
our tickets were a lot more.
They got
And
ripped
Wild
off.
Horse is selling for 50. I
Yeah, I
got.
thought
I
that was
mean,
like $60. That's what was on Ticketmaster.
it was
Yeah.
promoted. No, it was promoted on Vivid Seats.
Connor's
and
just getting
something
more
else.
pissed just hearing all this
Yeah,
shit.
and you could have just come in with a screenshot of a Ticketmaster
Add
receipt,
another
man.
clip of his
Yeah.
face changing colors.
Yeah. So, but it was
Moving on.
Like, even booking it at that venue, they weren't prepared for it. I watched security be like, we walked through security, walked through the metal detectors, and nobody said anything to us. But while we were standing at the back bar, obviously, like I'm watching kind of everything as I always am, and I'm watching security be fucking assholes to people. Like, stop right there, don't fucking move, blah blah blah. Let me pat you down, blah blah. I'm like, for what? What is the purpose behind this? This guy just walked in saying he spent $5,000 for a table upstairs. Why do you feel the need to yell at him?
Mm-hmm.
There's like clearly like former, military guys as another third party security company that were hired on, whatever, they were contracted for it. But like as security, man, stop being a fucking dick. It's not your job. Your job is to be welcoming and make people feel safe.
I think
Be
the
a
shit at the
fucking
end of the
human being.
night, like security yelling as soon as fucking lights go on, be like, "All
That's
right,
so
everybody
annoying.
gotta fucking go, get the fuck
Yeah.
out."
Yeah.
It's like one of my biggest fucking pet peeves, dude.
I love it when
always,
it's normally a dude that's half my size doing
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do if I
Yeah.
say no?
Call 10 people over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me know.
Come here, Luna. I'll get in the corner
Come
so you
here.
can come sit with us.
But like
Come here.
that's also got to change at these venues.
Come
Like the whole experience, security, DJs, management, whatever the case may be. Like people shouldn't be leaving Broadway getting beat
Okay,
up.
coming over here.
yeah.
They shouldn't be leaving a venue getting beat up.
Oh, she's trying to make her way to Travis because he's got food.
They shouldn't be.
Oh, that's what's
this
going
is
on.
awful.
She's
They shouldn't
plotting
like,
ass.
people shouldn't be feared.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't have fear going into a venue. They should feel safe. They should feel secure. And that's unfair of us as operators, of business owners as business owners. Luna, this is not for you. I'm not sharing. But like that's just like it's not fucking fair, dude. And I hate the fact that like that's been talked about and that's happened so many times. Cause
Yeah, where it's become like
takes offense. I take offense to it.
Best podcast ever.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not working at the venue, it pisses me off.
just
Like,
being in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like.
Because you're associated with it.
Well,
It's like
there's,
one of
by
my number one
default.
pet peeves. It's like,
there's 200,000 tourists coming here a weekend or some shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. All 200,000 of those people, they're all going to fucking Broadway. So you're saying they all need to be afraid to lose their life? We live in a city. I'm super passionate about this industry. If you haven't been able to tell on all my podcasts, like people should feel safe. People shouldn't feel threatened. People shouldn't feel like, oh, you're a massive person, so I need to be afraid of you. Like, no, man. Like you should be the biggest teddy bear in the world. And if anyone's
like Luna.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if anyone sees you redline, like that there's like a really bad problem. It just people shouldn't see it.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, yeah, it definitely strikes a nerve for me as someone that's been in security, ran security at nightclubs, has always had teams of massive human. Like we had the 4 Horsemen back in DC. They were 4 retired NFL guys. They worked at the worst clubs in the city, and they were still very well known for never injuring someone. But they were all outside linebackers in the
Very
NFL.
capable of doing it. Yeah.
They could have flicked someone in the jugular and probably killed them.
Yeah.
They were that big of people. But never happened. They were carrying guys out with guns. They were doing whatever the hell they got to do. Nobody ever died.
Yeah.
And so like I look at this town and I'm like, man, like where are we going wrong? But yeah, getting back to venues and creating the relationships and like what is that kind of just Rod, you're someone that has now been on every side of it. So what does that look like to you?
How does it differ between the different agencies that you
Yeah.
book through? Does it, or
I am also curious, like what
And different venues.
your experience is like, or
well,
what,
because some of the venues that you're booked through the agencies are like mostly hotels,
Yeah.
where it's not necessarily like nightclub venues. Do you see a difference between nightclub venues and like corporate venues? Because they're both either way.
Yeah.
You're getting booked through agencies for all of them.
Actually, no. Only one of the hotel spots is through the agency.
Okay.
Others were just booked in house.
Gotcha. I thought you were all through like Bookable or Jam Factory.
Virgin and Harriet's are both in house.
Okay. Nice.
Which is probably why they're more on the vibey end of things for what they want their programming to be.
I didn't realize they were both in house.
Yeah. They're both done in house.
Because who does Virgin? Loriana?
MJ.
Okay. And then, so do you feel like you're closer with the staff at those venues that are
Oh,
that
absolutely.
are booked
Because
in?
I opened Virgin,
Okay.
and a lot of the staff that's still there have been there since day one. MJ, who does the booking, she's been there since day one.
She was a bartender originally, right?
No, she came down from Chicago as like, I'm not sure what her exact title was when she came down.
She wasn't like the GM though.
No, she wasn't the GM, but she was in charge of programming at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, like the Virgin staff is super close. They don't have much turnover at all. Then Harriet's seems like it's been really tight. Everybody that's been there's been there since day one so far. But yeah, I love both those spots.
And you think they're like more personable to you as a DJ?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because I know both of the in-house bookers
Yeah.
very well. Like we'll hang out with them outside of work.
But then you've got a place like, and not to call them out, but you were at Kung Fu for a long time. That's where
Yeah, I was there from
we
year
all
one.
met. Yeah. And they've been around for almost 10 years now.
Damn.
But I feel
No,
like
I
that's
don't think
also a
so.
venue where you're super close with all the staff too.
He was. I mean,
Yeah.
he went on
Yeah.
staff trips with them.
Yeah,
he went on
exactly.
staff trips I never
Holy
got to
shit.
go on.
Yeah, Kung Fu had the yearly staff Christmas trips in January.
They go down
They
to
take
Texas.
all their DJs.
Yeah.
No, they went to.
My first year went to New Orleans.
Yeah. They've been to
Second
Mexico,
year, we went
Florida.
to Key West. Then we had a.
You guys went to Austin this past year.
Yeah, went to outside of Austin to like a winery.
Okay.
Went out there. I feel like I'm missing a city.
Didn't you guys go to Mexico one year?
No, they did Vegas the year before I started. But yeah, they like take every location. I think they have 6 or 7 locations. Take all the bartenders, bar backs, security, DJs.
That's
like,
fucking
like
awesome.
a few resident DJs on
Yeah.
the staff that are there all the time.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I assume it's a tax write-off, but
Yeah.
still, thank you.
Yeah. Still a big thank
Yeah.
you.
But yeah,
But-
like you think of those venues that are like texting you every week, like, "Hey,
But
can you
Kung
come
Fu was
play
booked
this week?"
in-house also.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
where
just
that's-
different.
Mhm.
It's a different feel, right? Like it's a different level of appreciation, different level of communication. I mean, Rod will tell you the joke that we always had at Paradise, because for me, Rod was always my closer on Saturdays. So he's playing 10:30 to 2:30, which is prime hours, right, on Broadway. From 11 to 2, I'm not going to do much socializing. I was running around. I was helping behind the bar, doing whatever I had to do. So he would get there at 9:45 or 9:30. I'm paying him straight away, giving him his check, giving him his cash. And he'd always joke, he'd be like, "All right, man, I'm gonna head out now."
Now
I was
that you
like-
got it right away.
I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, cool, man. I'll see you in an hour when you're time to play."
It's just my running dad joke.
But yeah, like I think that's like, again, that's one of the things where, you talk about these agencies and how, yeah, we get it, they're fronting money and then they're getting a fat check written to them at the end of the month. But I would also be curious to see how that makes sense for the business, because while you
For
see,
the venue business or
Yeah.
for the agency?
for the venue business,
Yeah.
because while you see as a venue business what you're spending every month and then you're just cutting the check and at the end of the month, like, why does it matter? If it's coming out of the bank account, it's coming out of the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if I could do it at Paradise, where we were a small fish in a massive pond, if we could pay it out every night, every venue on Broadway could pay it out every night. So I'd be curious to know like what the strategy behind that is, just as someone that's like a business nerd.
I think
I don't think the strategy is money at all.
Yeah, it's not monetary thing. I think a lot of new locations that open or bring in outside management who aren't familiar with Nashville, it's easier for them to just go with the local agency
Mm-hmm.
who has a reputation, knows their roster well enough to like program in who's going to fit that spot, and it's something the new management doesn't have to worry about.
Correct.
But do they know their roster and know where to put the right people in the right spots? I mean, they're booking an agency because it's the easiest thing to do.
I mean, that's what I.
That's what we were
think
talking about
that's
earlier
what
with the
it's for.
quality control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's
They're
what
doing it
it's-
because it's the easiest thing to do. So they're getting open, and that's one thing off their plate. I mean, I had worked with a guy that specifically. I told him, "Hey, let me take over booking." And he's like, if I book it through an agency, then if someone doesn't show up, it's their fault, not mine." But I'm like, that's not how I want to look at the business. There's no reason to do that, because why? Like, if I'm talking to these DJs directly every month, every 2 months, whatever, like, it's their responsibility to be here.
Yeah.
And if they don't show up, then they don't get booked.
Then they're
again.
not going to get booked. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next DJ and I'm going to go to the next one. Like, there's always going to be a roster, right? Like, a roster and a taxi squad is what you can have.
But that's also something I think is crazy with like the agencies too, is some of these dudes will get fired at one spot that the agency books,
They get
and they'll
booked.
still book them at.
Then
I'm
they'll
like,
get triple booked somewhere else.
I'm like,
'Cause they're
dude,
oh,
if
you
you
lost a gig, we'll give you 3 more.
if
Doesn't
I'm running
make
an
sense.
agency
At
and
another
like
venue.
and you're fired from one spot, or like
Red flag.
you're getting yeah, like I'm not gonna book you at any of the spots. Like I
You're
don't
at least going
trust
to be
you.
suspended pending investigation.
Yeah, like I don't
That's
trust
100%.
you
That's a really
anymore
fair point.
as a DJ
Especially if you've been fired twice.
or more. Like it's
Well, I mean, I imagine that in cities like Miami and Chicago, etc., that does not happen. That if you get laid off from a certain spot,
yeah.
or 2 or 3 spots, like you're not going to be as busy as you were the previous month.
There's no agencies in DC.
Yeah.
None. Everything is booked in house.
Mm-hmm.
So you get booked, and then you get booked at another venue through word of mouth. If I call my boy
And
Oscar,
same thing, vice
If
versa.
I call my boy Oscar, and you play at Rose Bar and you do a great job, and I call Oscar and say, "Hey, how was DJ Houndstooth at Rose Bar? Because I'm thinking about booking him a heist," and Oscar says he was fired. This was his vibe. Blah blah blah. I told him to switch up this, and this. He did a really great job. Switched it up right away. That's how you get booked at another venue in DC.
I was
Then same thing, vice versa. If you suck
If you
and you
suck,
get fired
yeah.
from one spot,
It's
they're gonna
rough.
be like, "No, dude, he fucking sucked. I
Yeah.
fired him." And you're
Yeah.
like, "All right, cool. Now I'm not booking him."
I was going to make a point earlier, and you saying that just reminded me, and it might be something to do with the venues, but it seems like not every DJ operates this way, but it seems like a lot of DJs kind of are like not in it to help each other out.
Everyone.
There's a lot of backstabbing.
I mean, it's also a social media society, right? Like, everyone wants to get the followers. Everyone wants to be.
Like, would you say the same thing about the
influencer.
venues too, though?
Yeah, absolutely. Because how many venues can you go to on Broadway right now and get service that's a 6 out of 10? I can tell you, It's like not very many. Out of 30 venues, maybe 4 bars we could walk into, even if we know the people that are working, and get a service that feels like a 6 out of 10.
Just because of how busy it is anyway?
Just because they don't give a fuck, man. Like whether, like if they're homies, like if we go to Legends and Shelby and Jules are working, or you know Shelby and Danielle are working, or if we go to Layla's and Kelly and Cass are working, like I know I'm gonna get good service because I'm going in, giving them a hug, saying how's it going. We're catching up for a minute. They're grabbing whatever I need, and then we're moving on with our lives.
Yeah.
But if I go somewhere and it's, you know, someone that I don't see all the time, if I've served someone several times, but I've never been served by them, even though they recognize me, they don't care. Just another face in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I haven't been caught in that. Like I remember last year at Tomato Arts Festival, there was a homie of mine that was in front of me for like 10 minutes before I realized he was there. But I was also in the midst of making 450 Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
In a single morning. Like, it was insane. So I couldn't even think. I don't think I peed for 12 hours that day. And if I did, it was in my pants because I never left the bar.
Sick.
And I was the GM. So, like, that's how crazy it was.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, most venues down there, like, they don't care. You're just another face in the crowd. You're just another number. You're just another vodka soda, Mick Ultra, whatever you're drinking.
Well, I was talking about venues working together to make everybody better.
Yeah, I mean,
and helping each other out.
TC Group cares about themselves, but also like, do they? Because you look at the line at Aldean's every night, and it's 100 people long, but FGL's dead. So if I'm looking at that, and you know, we touched on this a little bit on one of the episodes when I got interviewed by Aldean's, and I told the girl I thought they ran a terrible business, and her jaw dropped, because my brain goes to Aldean's has a line of 150 on a Saturday night. FGL has no line. How do I drive that, even 100 out of that 150 to FGL? Mm-hmm. So then I'm still making business as a company, and
instead of just cramming everyone into all
and these people don't have to. These people
so
don't have to
packed,
operate.
it's not
like,
enjoyable.
Moose and I talked about it earlier. If you do $250,000 on a Saturday, that's great. If you do it serving 10,000 people, it's not a very great average ticket. But if you actually controlled your crowd, because right now your average ticket's at $15 a person, but if you controlled your crowd and you saw, you know, 5,000 people, half the amount of people, but everyone spent $75, you're making more revenue than you originally were with seeing half the people. And people are getting service. People are having a good time. People are being able to say, hey, how's it going? I can't tell you how many times, like, atta girl, get it.
I was thirsty from all that pizza.
Like, you know, one of my friends, Lisa, that works at Bourbon Street Blues, when she slammed on a Friday, Saturday night, she always makes it a point. Whoever walks up to the bar, hey, how's it going? If they just order a drink straight away, she will say, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm great too. Thanks so much. I'll go fuck myself. Yeah. She's not making their drink first. You will acknowledge her as a human being before you acknowledge her as a bartender. And I think that there's not enough people in this town that demand that human respect, because they feel like, oh, these people are numbers, I'm just a number two. Mm-hmm. And I think that sucks. And I think it's becoming detrimental to the industry in this town, because people
maybe that's spilling over into the music side of things too.
100% is spilling over into the DJ world, because
not just the DJ world, you know, just
music in general,
all entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about in the group text earlier, I had a friend of mine get booked at a venue, and she is known as a rock and roll band. And they went to her at the end of her set, or middle of her set, and they're like, hey, you're playing too much rock and roll. She's like, have you ever fucking heard me? Like, you booked me. This is all we play. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm known for, like, playing screamo music every, you know, 1 out of every 10 songs. I'm known for being the girl in half my clothes, like, you know, tall, hot, fitness chick. Like, that's what I'm known for. That's why I thought you booked me, was for us to do what we do. And now you're telling me you want me to play some K-pop shit, and I don't play K-pop shit.
Jesus.
I don't play country music. Like, I don't do those things. This is what I play. I sit on the bar. I walk across the bar. Like, that's what I do. So, yeah, I think 100% it's becoming everyone's a number. And it's just, it's watering, it's drowning everything out. And it sucks.
Because what are you saying? You're saying, like, DJ-wise, like, people just being out for themselves, or what?
No, look, okay, so what made me think of that specifically was a colleague sent me like a graphic, and it was like, one side of it was, you know, a group of stick people walking upstairs, and it was, you know, the person in front of them was helping the other person up. Mm-hmm. and the other side was everybody trying to kick everybody else down.
It's like crabs in a bucket.
And yeah, and it was
it.
on the left side. I said European DJs. On the right side, it said American DJs. And the person who sent it to me was like, well, this is how I feel like Nashville was. The left being before COVID and the right being after COVID.
Yeah, I think a lot of things shifted after COVID. Just like being
The
someone.
number of DJs being one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Sorry,
a lot,
guys.
A lot of COVID.
Should have moved here.
And here's Dex.
All these transplants.
Yeah, just
Not
fucking
only,
everything
not
up.
only transplants, but people that learned how to DJ on YouTube during COVID.
No, but Travis saying that comment about Rose Bar calling another venue being like, hey, how was this guy that played? You know, I'm thinking about booking him. You know, I feel like some places, maybe this is valid for Nashville venues, maybe it's not, but I feel like some people might gatekeep certain people and be like, no. I mean, I don't feel like people would really operate like that, but
I think that depends on who the operator is. I can tell you that, like, when I was at Paradise and people were hitting me up to play, I would do my research and see who had a good reputation, who got wasted at their gig last week and sent home, like who was doing those kind of things.
Sorry
So I
about
didn't.
that.
Yeah. too
It's
many.
one time.
Tito's
Moose,
and
what are
Super
your
Red
thoughts,
Bull.
man?
I'm
Be
like,
quiet
"Rod, it's
over
10
there."
o'clock. Chill out, bro.
I don't know, man. Like I to my knowledge, I mean, we touched on a little bit last episode, but like the DJ scene in Nashville in general, the way it is now is new. Like it's relatively new, right? So like I think that people are still trying to figure shit out, and then they just figure out ways that work for them, and they just stick with that shit.
Yeah, when I
like during
started off, there's
COVID.
3 places to play.
Yeah, I think there's a lot
But
of
And,
how
like,
long
I
have
did
DJs
do
I think there's a
Yeah.
lot
I
of
mean,
places
it's
that are
gotta be.
shifting to DJs now. Like Lucky Bastard, Whiskey River, 2 venues that I would not expect to ever see a DJ in,
And there's
and
two.
now they're
yeah.
putting them.
yeah.
But like, they're putting them, but you know, they're putting people that maybe they don't know, or they don't have any experience with, or the GM is brand new to the city, or whatever the case may be.
Well, they
So,
don't do all that. Like Bill
Yeah.
does that through Premiere,
Right.
so like he knows the DJ, so he
Yeah,
knows
I
who
was
to
just
put
using
in
them
there.
as an example. I know Bill does their booking stuff, but I just think of like those venues that are used that all of a sudden using DJs when they were known for live music before. So now it's like, okay, cool. Now you're shifting your entire energy, your entire vibe. But like what? That was the one at Paradise. We always kept the band on the first floor. I hated it. I spent thousands of dollars on a Saturday night on one band.
Mm-hmm.
And Rod tried to kick me in the nuts one time because when I told him that, I was like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have told you what we spent on those guys."
Because like, and I'm fucking
'Cause-
getting paid
because-
$400.
yeah, because-
Like,
yeah, you're
fuck.
right.
Playing to 8 people.
Right, because
Yeah.
we were doing, you know, and we when we had a meeting with the owners and everyone, like, you know, when I said, "Hey, I want to be on the rooftop at all times," someone else was like, "Oh, that's kind of bullshit." And I was like, "Okay, cool. We're doing 60,000 in the venue, 38's coming from the roof. Where the fuck else do I need to be?
Mm-hmm.
You tell me where, because we're spending X amount on DJs on the rooftop where we're doing 60% of the revenue, 70% of the revenue, but the main floor we're spending $2,000 on a band,
And they have 8
and
people down
during
there.
their set we're doing $1,000 in revenue.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm losing on them. I'm riding the backs of my DJs, and I'm losing on these bands.
Yeah.
But with DJs needs to be lighting, needs to be proper sound, needs to be all those things. There's a lot of venues that don't invest in that stuff. So then you just get these DJs that come in, maybe not super experienced, maybe not very well versed. They're newer DJs. They're redlining the entire time and they think that's normal.
If you're not redlining, you're not headlining.
It's true.
And then 4 out of 6 speakers are blown, 2 weeks into it.
And now you're paying for that.
When I started at Proof, they had opened 3 weeks before, and every speaker outside was already blown because somebody played there that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I will say I don't know if it.
Turned the volume up taller than he was.
What's the saying like when you're like getting your feet wet, like cut your teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say that I am thankful that I got to cut my teeth in Alabama, like because the 2 main spots that booked me like mainly booked bands first, and then so like when I came to Nashville, it kind of prepped me for that a little bit.
Yeah, cut my teeth in Murfreesboro. I
For
played
like
so many
playing after the band? Or what do you mean?
They would do like a split set actually. Like,
Okay. So
like
you're
I
going
play
back.
first, band, 45-minute set break.
Yep.
I DJ during that, and then I DJ an hour at the end of the night.
Like,
Gotcha.
I played so many small bars and wannabe clubs forever. I had my first what I call distinguished gig, and I feel like I don't see that anymore. It's like you got these guys who just started DJing a couple years ago and they're playing some of the biggest places in Nashville. Whereas like I had to come up and like even when I started playing the good spots, like I had to do the opening set open from doors till 11 or so. Then the headliner would come on. Then I stayed on and would run lights, but I had to watch the headliner.
See, and that's where I was elaborating on in that clip that I just put up of like Mike saying how good all the Nashville DJs were, and I was like,
That clip was incredible. It was so accurate.
but what I was elaborating on is I was like, I feel like so many Nashville DJs have a crutch where these places are all so busy
Yeah.
that no matter what, like they think that they're killing it, and they've never had to start from these smaller places where they literally have to. They're playing
venue
to
that
a
holds
crowd
200,
of
but
You gotta
there's
build
only
it
40.
not even
yourself.
200 of
Yeah.
Gotta hold the
100
crowd.
people,
Yeah.
and you have to learn how to hold a crowd.
And it's
because
and
there's
exactly, you have to learn how to hold the crowd.
Yes.
It's not just about I like earn my stripes or what. It's kind of that, but it's not such an old, because it sounds so old time, like veteran old man
Yeah.
when you say it that way.
Yeah.
You know what
My
I mean?
yard.
Yeah,
there's
it's
so
like,
many-
it sounds very much like,
I'm-
but it's not that. It's
Yeah,
about
not
learning how to do the stuff. Like Connor would say stuff about me before I played before him, like
Yeah.
do or don't. Most
I
of the
was
time it
taught-
was you did great, but like if there wasn't, he'd tell me like
And I was
don't do
talking
that for
about, like,
opening.
when you're reading the room, like you got one crowd that likes what you're playing now,
Mm-hmm.
one crowd that doesn't. Switch it up, send that other crowd to the bar to go spend more money.
exactly, and flip
send-
the room.
Flip
Yeah,
the room, like it's all just like in waves of the room.
to make the bar ready.
but that's what I
We
was
should
saying.
do
is-
a trivia game and see how many people know what flip the room
Yeah.
means.
But that's what I was saying is I was like, there's so many people here that I don't think understand that, and they DJ for themselves as a DJ or as an artist, where they're playing the shit that they like.
I mean,
that
at the end of the day,
isn't necessarily
nobody's
playing.
there to see me. I'm there to keep the crowd that's in the venue I'm playing at.
And
But
that's the
there's
difference
very
with
few
Nashville
DJs
too,
in this town that will say that.
where I'm like, dude,
So
if
many
you
people
went to
want their name on the wall behind
Yeah.
them, like Jumbotron, whatever. But guess what, man? Nobody's fucking coming to see you.
and like if you
And it's no
go to
offense to
another
you.
city and you play that way, where there's not a nonstop line of people
Well, there's not a
waiting to
built-in
come
crowd.
in,
You're not gonna play twice.
and you're gonna be playing to an empty crowd
Yeah.
in an hour, and you're gonna realize real quick, like, oh fuck, like I can't just play the shit that I want to hear.
I'm kind of curious too, like to your clip that you posted. I'm interested with some of these DJs that are traveling more often and not being booked in Nashville. They're traveling, and I'm curious, like, what are they being paid to travel? Because if they're buying their flights, or even if they're not, if the flights are being booked for them, they're paying for their hotel, and then they're going to this venue to play for free. If they're making essentially the same amount of money because they're not playing, they're not.
No, they're probably
paid
not
to
making
play.
anything.
That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
Yeah.
I could chime in on that. After hotel and gas and let's be honest, not a lot of places pay the same fees that Nashville does for entertainment. You're not taking home as much money, so you should be doing it because you want to get out there and you want to build your fan base, or you want to explore other cities and do cool
But
shit.
how- better and just get
but
better
then-
as a
but then
DJ
even
too.
on,
Right.
even on that point, how many DJs go to other cities and go to other venues, and they go in and they don't do what you did when we went to Louisville together a couple years ago. They don't go in and introduce themselves, say, "Hey, I'm a resident of Tin Roof in Nashville, but I want to meet."
Yeah, and
all
actually
you guys
use
while
it
I'm
as a
playing.
time to market
Kind of what Dex
themselves.
was saying, like when he comes into every venue in Nashville
Mm-hmm.
now. But like, if you just go and you're this dude and you act like you're this fucking celebrity, because, oh, I'm from Nashville. Like, guess what, bro? You're not that fucking good. 70% of you guys are not that good. I know because I booked you or I haven't booked you. I know because you're good friends of mine or you're not good friends of mine. I just know your music. 70% are not that good. And to your point and your clip points, like to Matt Fox and Mike, I would agree with you. The only city, and I told you this, the only city you didn't mention was DC.
Yeah, which
But
I could have too.
There
from-
are
yeah.
several cities that would murder Nashville DJs. I could take you to 4 different clubs on a Tuesday. Connor will tell you. We went and listened to Jerome Baker III on a Tuesday night at
He's a
Heist.
beast.
Was that just because they don't have experience in other cities? Are they from here? Or
No, it goes into what I'm saying,
They're
of,
now
like-
booked at these venues that are they're always busy no matter what. So they think they're like this incredible DJ, and they're dancing behind the booth, thinking that everyone's hyped because it's them, but it's not. Everyone's hyped because they're wasted and they're in Nashville, and that's what they came here to do. No, like the fact that Jerome Baker played at Heist that Tuesday night. It's a college night on Tuesday nights. Girls drink free champagne for the first 3 hours. Nobody does that here in Nashville.
You can't.
Because they can't do it. But also, like, nobody talks on the point of the fact that the club that Jerome DJ'd on a Tuesday night, 2 weeks before, Drake came in after his show
Just to
and
kick
DJ'd
it.
for free.
Yeah.
Just showed up, spent $1,000 on McDonald's, put it on all the fucking tables. Literally, I was talking to my boy Rob. He's like, bro, he brought in food, put it everywhere. Like, but Jerome could come to Nashville and murder 70% of DJs.
Well, I asked him what his opinion
He
was in
wasn't impressed.
Nashville. He was not impressed because he said, "Yeah, the guy that went on before me, that I'm not going to name the venue, but he just basically was like, I was not impressed. The guy, it was Spotify and Transitions. He had multiple cups behind him that he was probably wasted, didn't care.
Yeah.
As Moose likes to say, phoning it in.
But that's
Fucking-
that's
For real.
And
Again,
that's unfortunately the impression he took home of Nashville as a
Yeah.
whole,
we can
of all
name,
of us.
I know Dex can name DJs in Milwaukee and Chicago. I can name them in DC. Rod can probably name them in other cities. Like, there are guys that I would put a year's worth of salary on.
Well, and that's what like
We're
Mike said it
smashing
of
someone
like
here.
he's like the top 5 here, and I'm like who's your top 5 even? And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you go to Chicago and every single DJ can cut.
Who was
I'm
his
like-
top 5? Who do you say his top 5 was?
I didn't know he didn't get into a top
Oh.
5. Like he said, rate, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like that's one DJ who
He's not general. He's in my opinion, Nick. He's in my opinion, and this is like Rod. I'm not putting you on a pedestal or Jeremy or Rate, but those 3 guys, they're not Gen Pop anymore. They're guys that
Gen
are now,
Pop.
Yeah, you said he just got out of the pin.
For real,
God damn.
That's the reality of it. Like,
well, and that's what I
He
was
need
like.
me-
I was
he
like,
need
yeah, I knew of him before from Twitch, but I'm like, even Rate, like, he doesn't play out a lot. Like what
Twice
does
a
he
week.
plays
He's a
Saturday?
Rosemary Saturday and does occasional Harriet.
sometimes
Exactly.
Harriet's, that's it.
And I'm like, that's nothing bad to him. Like he's
I
fucking
begged him to
killing.
come
Yeah,
in.
he's
He's offered
making.
him
He doesn't
double
have
money,
to.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't
exactly.
come in, bro. Like,
But
will
I'm
not-
like,
he will
if
not
you're
go play
comparing
Broadway.
it,
No.
if you're comparing
No.
it to like all of the DJs that are
The
out
general
and
guys,
DJing,
4 nights a week.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I could take fucking Bizon, who is from Milwaukee, exclusive editor, remixer for DJ City, fucking same kind of thing. Like he's on Twitch all the time, fucking murders it, plays everywhere in Milwaukee, can fucking cut like a motherfucker. There's like 2 DJs in Nashville that I've even heard scratch during sets since I've been here.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
Two best
Wait,
turntables
scratch or
in
scratch
Nashville
well?
play
don't
out.
exactly.
Kids
Where I'm like,
Kids Mill and Wicket.
yeah. And that's like exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, if you go to Chicago, you listen to fucking any club you go into, whether it's Darren back when he was there, Darren, Gordo, Metro, Strategy, fucking Navik.
everyone's
I'm like
scratching.
every single one of them scratches and
Yeah.
scratches at a high quality.
Yep.
Like it's not we're fucking baby
On any
scratching
equipment.
and it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Like Shaw, you could literally, the list goes on of how good all of them are, and the talent of being able to read a room, because a city like Chicago, you're playing everything from hip hop to Latin to house because it's such a melting pot of people.
You have to be
Where,
open format.
dude,
you
like
got Latin Kings and Bloods and Crips.
the shit that they play,
play
like
them all.
if you're in there for an hour, you're hearing 5 different genres
100%.
of
Oh, yeah.
music. Whereas in Nashville, I feel like a lot of the DJs,
Top 40,
yeah,
country,
and
mash.
that's not always like something on them. It's what the venue wants.
Right.
But then at the same time, I'll also listen to DJs who are playing something completely like out of left field because it's just what they want, where they're getting into like
Yeah.
fucking dubstep or like just any kind of like hard EDM where I'm like, dude, there's
I've had a
800 girls in here and none of them want to hear this.
Well,
I've
that's kind of where I asked the question of like, okay, how involved are the venues? Because if and like not only involved in controlling the music and understanding the music, but how involved are you in the business? Because if you go to a DJ, we can talk about a specific one. I'm not gonna say any names, but someone comes to them and the whole venue's vibing, and a table comes up to them and says, "Hey, can you play X, Y, and Z? We bought these 2 tables over here," and they say, "I'll get to it, but this." Everyone is like, I'm not even playing swag surfing, and the whole venue swag surfing. I'm not gonna change everything for you 5 people, and then they don't change the music. Then they get a call from the manager the next day, like, "Hey, what the fuck did you like? Why the fuck didn't you play those songs last night? Those people bought tables. Who gives a flying fuck?" As a venue,
Doesn't mean they control
take
the room.
yourself off the pedestal and understand that you're not there.
Yeah, if you're not there looking
for
at the
5
crowd.
people, or you're not there for 1 table. You're there for the entire venue. So I would say to that, like, yeah, venues want them to play country mashups and top 40 and blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of where, like, I would challenge the DJs. Play what you want to play. Play what you want to play because you love it and because you know what you're doing. And again, like, I know we touched on the financial aspect of it. Not everyone is financially stable enough to say no and pass off gigs and do what they want to do because it might step on a toe. But I can tell you, man, just fucking do it. Like, because in the long run, if you don't, you're going to despise or detest someone because you played at this venue for a year and you never feel like you were heard. You never feel like you got to play what you wanted to play. But that's because you let someone put their finger on the on your jugular and tell you exactly what to do every single time, even though you knew your way was going to work. So,
or even worse, you're gonna get fucking burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sick of playing shit that you don't
One
fucking
of
want
my
to.
favorites is Burnt Out.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad to hear Luke is not playing anymore because I thought he was a good DJ and he was a good dude overall. And I know he's shifted his energies to other things.
Who's Luke?
Sego.
Oh, Sego. Oh, yeah.
But I thought he was a DJ. You went into a venue. You had a good time when he was playing. He had a good time when he was playing. He was never overly wasted. He was never like doing any of the dumb stuff. But he got burnt out because he's playing what other people want him to play, whether it be the venue or the crowd or what have you. And I know you're playing to the crowd. You're not playing to, like, you're not playing the music that you want to hear. But at a certain point, you've got to say, like, hey, guys, I don't want to play Garth Brooks mashups. I don't want to play Jason Aldean mashups. I don't want to play, this shit that if I was sitting at home, I wouldn't want to listen to this. So why do I want to push these buttons and play what you want me to play all the time?
I don't know. That's a double side. It's a double.
It is,
I
for
can
sure,
see both
100%.
sides of the argument because there are people that come in and just play what they want to hear, but there's people that come in and play what the venue needs to hear.
I started to hear it as soon as I said it. But
And that's what. And it's I hear both sides. I see what you're saying because it's hard to kind of articulate because you do need the guy that's going to take chances and try things out and say no. You guys usually play this here, but watch this. I'm going to try this out. Watch it. And then if it works, then you have to listen. Like, it's a two-way street. Right. They have to work together to figure it out. But it's not just a cookie cutter. We only play top 40 and country remixes here because that's fucking ass. And it doesn't leave us any room for creativity at all.
And then that's when it starts to get old.
And you hate the venue.
And you might as well play Spotify.
When we were at Paradise and all the new DJs would come in, I would say to them, hey, Rod, I never really had this conversation with. But the earlier guys, I would say, hey, look, it's open format. You're not the closer, so don't go crazy. If you play something I think is really out of left field and I don't think it hits, make sure you're looking at your phone when you're playing it because I'm probably going to text you and tell you to switch.
Yeah.
But, like, just respect me as the operator of the venue to do that. We can talk about it after your set, and I can tell you why I didn't think it worked. I respect the fact that you want to take the chance, but if I see it's not working, it's not working.
And
I feel like some people would take such an ego hit.
100%.
But you being able to take that feedback and do something with it, and that's how you get better over time. That's how you
Use
build
it
those
as a learning
relationships.
moment.
It's a communication thing. That's it.
Also, I would recognize within the first minute, oh, that didn't work. Not gonna do that again.
Right.
Yeah.
See,
You realize
Quick switch out of it.
When you said that to me, maybe next one. Hold on.
I was
Where
going
it's
to
like,
say that
that's the
earlier.
shit where you don't even have to look at the text where you're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, this one didn't work.
Yeah.
So
Like-
how do you think,
Reverb out.
for all of you, so when shit like that is happening as far as the DJs being there, do you think that venues, whether it's, I'm not even sure how it works here, if it's the management looking at it or if the agencies get a look at
That's
what the
thing. I
venues
don't know
are
who's
pulling
holding
in?
anyone's accountable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right now.
do you think the agencies get a look at, okay, when this DJ is here, they're ringing in this much, or we're doing this much in sales? Or do you think the management even looks at that, like, hey, when this guy is here, we're doing this much in sales? Or do you think
I don't think it's looked at all.
you don't?
I think, and Rod and I have had these conversations before. There are so many underqualified managers on Broadway because people will take a management role for $40,000 to say they're a manager on Broadway.
Okay.
So I don't think there's even, most managers of those big venues, they probably don't even know how to look at the numbers and understand what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know. Like, when I was at Paradise, and I keep referring back to that, but even now while I'm at AB Squared that has no DJs, I can tell you how many sales per hour I'm doing. My biggest hour on a Friday or Saturday night is 6 p.m. hour, and I'm doing X thousands of dollars in that hour. Mm-hmm. And that's every week consistently. And that's because I know that's my dinner traffic, both from takeout and dine in. When I was at Paradise, we knew from 9 to 12, 9 to 1, we were always doing X thousands of dollars. And then we could break it down by rooftop, second floor, first floor, because that's what the system and the POS system does for us.
Yeah.
And you know that from looking at reports in your past. And I think that, again, there's just like, I mean, I'm on my phone all the time. Like I put a privacy screen back on my phone because I'm looking at work numbers all the time, and I don't think it's appropriate for people to see them.
Yeah, I agree.
But I want to know what the venue is doing. I want to know what my business is doing. And I think that that's like something that isn't really trained upon. I think that they look at a big number. And I think that as long as there's not some, 50% drop off in sales, nobody says shit.
Well, or like for you, Rod, you think they just look at the crowd and they're like, "Hey, we're busy. Like it doesn't even matter who's
It's
DJing."
like, we're slammed. We're just slinging drinks across the bar. There's a line waiting to get in.
But we have
That's
a
all
bunch
they're
of people
looking at.
just standing in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
The
instead
room
of
is
actually
never
like
flipped.
instead of going up and down the stairs, like
Yeah.
spending a little bit of time in the
Right.
club and being like, "Damn, like this is working. This DJ is good.
Well,
this
even
DJ's
even
not
on
good."
each floor, if you're DJing on a club level of a floor or whatever, and you are playing for 3 hours and you have a bunch of tables booked, and there's never a new bottle that comes out, I don't think people even notice that. People don't notice if the shows are coming out. People don't notice if the marquees are coming out with some saying on it. Like they just don't notice that. And for me, as an operator, I'm like, okay, well, this table got this. This is their minimum. That's their minimum. This one. So like, that's their minimum. That's the least they got to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my girls' jobs to make sure they spend more, but it's also my DJ's job to keep the vibe going so they want to spend more. They need to be wanting to stand on a table, dance, go crazy. And I've said it on a previous episode, I took the low-hanging fruit while I was at Paradise, right? Like people go to Whiskey Row or people will go to, Jason Aldean's, and they come to me and say, "Hey, do you guys do bottle service?" And we didn't promote that we did it. We started on 4th of July. I sold 21 bottles on the 4th of July. And then after that, we never promoted that we did it. We never printed a menu, none of those things. But people knew if someone asked, someone was on the radio to me like, "Trav, someone wants bottle service." I would come and speak to them personally, introduce myself, and say, "What are you guys looking for?" And they say, "Well, we just left such and such." And they said it was a $5,000 minimum for 2 bottles of Casamigos. And I'm like, "It's your lucky day, man, because I'll give you 2 bottles of Casamigos for $1,000. Because like,
You're
why,
still profiting
why not,
so
dude? I'm
fucking
still
heavily.
making so
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
money, and you're gonna get in and get the fuck out because you still want to go to Whiskey Row. You still
just
want to
want
go
the
to Jason
pictures.
Aldean's. You just want to pretend like you're
Cool.
balling because you got bottle service, and that's great. Have your moment, and then go be a normal patron at the bar.
Yeah.
But I'm
put his short shorts on, bring his marquee out.
yeah.
I mean,
normally,
even still,
that's
at
what I did.
fucking $500 a bottle, you're still fucking whacking them.
whacking, 100%.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Oh, this
Midwest
is the
come
best
out
deal
with
ever!"
them.
Like,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Like
Whacking.
$500 a bottle plus 20% grad. My girls loved it because they got free gratuity. Because I'd normally
Auto grad.
drop the bottle and I'd auto grad it and blah blah blah.
You
And
come
that's-
out there with sparklers?
sometimes. Only if I have my shorts on.
Yeah.
But no, like that's just what we did. Like it was, again, we were the low hanging fruit. You wanted to come in, you didn't want to spend $5,000, but you still wanted a good bottle service. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna take your money. And honestly, if I was at Whiskey Row and I was there at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and my tables weren't booked, or I knew my tables weren't gonna show up till 11 or midnight, and someone asked me for a table, I'm not quoting them $5,000. I'm telling them, "Oh yeah, it's $1,000 or it's $2,000 right now, but you got to be out by this time."
Yeah.
And the
'Cause then
minute
you
your
can just flip the table.
minute your bottles are empty, you got to buy another one. You got to get out, and I mean that as nice as possible in the nicest way.
And then at 10 o'clock, they go up.
That's how clubs in like Miami and shit.
Right?
do it.
You're flipping the table, right? Like
Yeah.
once you're there, yeah, you've paid for the space while you're drinking. That's it. Once you're done drinking, that space is no longer yours. Get out of my way. So I'm gonna sell that table 4 times tonight. So then instead, then you can sell it 4 times for $2,000 a piece and make $8,000 instead of selling it one time at $5,000. You make more revenue, but people don't think like that because that takes effort, right? Like it takes effort. It takes communication. It takes
Doing your job.
relationships, doing your job, being present. Like that's what it takes. And in a multi-story venue, you need to have a manager on each floor every
floor,
Friday,
yeah.
Saturday to be dialed in on that floor. Because if the band has an issue, you need to be able to handle it right away. If the bar has an issue, you need to be able to handle it right away. Not have someone get on the radio and call you and say, "Oh my God, 911, I need you on the first floor." They don't know if you're dropping bottles to a $5,000 table on the rooftop. Because 911 goes out the window when that's what is in your hand, because you don't know how much of a 911 it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I just think it's tough, and it's sad to see how busy we are as a city, yet how disconnected the service is. And I mean that on every aspect, whether it be musically, manager-wise, staff-wise, security-wise, whatever the case may be. This industry in this town right now, and I'm a part of it, is imploding. And until someone comes in and has the balls to step up and say, like, hey guys, this is what we're doing and this is how we're moving forward as a full-on industry, it's going to continue getting worse. More people are going to get hurt at bars. More people are going to get overserved and
Entertainment
fall
too.
off scooters. Bands are going to get burnt out. Bands are going to get underpaid or not paid. Like, DJs are going to keep playing in venues they shouldn't be playing in. Like, until someone really steps up as a governing body to say, hey, I know you guys all want to be chiefs, but you're not. You've driven it to this place, so now I'm here to fix it. You guys are all Indians, and you're all going to listen to me. And, like, truly sit them down. Take them to fucking Ryman. Put everyone in the auditorium. Get on the fucking stage. Get a
I don't know,
microphone.
man. Like, the biggest, like, maybe I'm just a little too optimistic in thinking this, but, like, I really think that if a good chunk of the important players, all of you guys being some of those people, have a different idea, like, I really hope with, like, drumming up this conversation of some sort. I don't give a shit if it's on the next guy's podcast down the block, no offense, but, like, I just want this to be talked about. Like, and I think the more that people talk about stuff like this and bring it up, and it's front of mind for people, the more that people feel at least a little bit of, like, maybe I should do something. Maybe I should pass this gig to my buddy. Maybe I should play this type of music here and stop being so I'm going to play what I was listening to on the way here, or, you know, whatever. Maybe it just gets people to think a little bit. That is definitely the first part of this. Like, because there's a bunch of people out there that are saying "fuck you" to everything we're saying. So, you know, like, just getting them to listen
there's
is
also a bunch
the
of people
start.
that don't have the nuts to say, or they can say, yeah, you guys are speaking facts and you're speaking the truth, but they don't have the balls to ever say that to anyone outside of themselves.
Yeah.
Or their close friends or whatever.
That's
like,
okay. We'll still say it.
It's got to be.
Keep saying
and
it.
this is like this is a term that I never really want to use. So I'm not like a crazy
Not cunt,
philanthropist or anything. I don't say the C word.
Oh.
Thank you. But, like, it's got to be a revolution, and to an extent, right? Of, like, everyone realizing we all need to get on the same page, because if we all do better, then everything gets better. And that's, you know, we talked about it before. There are DJs that are always going to be willing to play for less money because they want to get booked. Just because they want to make a flyer, put the venue on the flyer, because you know the venue's not making their fucking flyer. So that goes to show you they really don't care about you. But, like, just so that they can say that they've done it, they'll take the gig, even though they know it's over their head. They shouldn't be playing it. Someone else deserves it, whatever. They'll take it. So I don't expect every DJ in this town to come in and say, you guys are right, we're going to band together. We're going to give the middle finger to all these venues. Because if, you know, one booking agency has 30 venues and we all say we're not going to play for that agency, those venues still have to find DJs, right? Now, do the venues then go to the next step down of a DJ, or do they call the guys, the Connors, the Dexes, the Rods, the Mooses? Do they call you guys and say, hey, I know we've booked you through this booking agency before. The booking agency said none of you guys want to play for them anymore, so now we want to book you directly. Or is that too difficult for them? Do they not want to have human interaction? Do they not want to have the communication or the conversation to have?
Yeah.
And I think that's the big pill to swallow. And who's willing to step up and stand out and maybe lose a couple gigs? And that's not just to you four. That's to all my DJ friends. That's to, you know, all my manager friends. Like, stop fucking taking jobs that you shouldn't take. Stop taking jobs that are over your head. Stop taking jobs and being flustered and running venues into the ground. Stop doing the shit that you know you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Well,
Stay in your lane.
It made me think. You saying that made me think of what Moose posted like not too long ago, where you were kind of responding to something that I forget what I posted now, but you were.
It was all about this same type of conversation, basically. It was a message from someone that said they followed you around to different venues.
Yeah.
And actually, it's great that you bring this up, because we talked about this in the last episode when you weren't here, but that was what it was. She followed you to different venues because she went and saw DJs that were playing she was like, they just don't seem to know where they're at. So I'm gonna go where you seem to know where you're at and play the right vibe for the
But it
right
was-
shit.
It was you. I remember now. It was you saying like, if you don't really love this shit, then go do something else.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. There is so many other fucking things you can do. Trust me, I was just doing it like 9 months ago. Okay, get the
Yeah,
fuck
you can
out of
have
here.
Moose's job. He doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, they're hiring. They're hiring. Just piss clean.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
That's the hard part. Yeah. Yeah. So
I
if
don't
we're gonna
think
sign off with that, let's get everybody's where holy fuck! Before I have a stroke.
Jesus.
I think you
Why
just did.
don't you go
Anyway,
first?
Why's your,
so-
why's your,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
why's your right eye so low?
Somebody's trying to crab scratch your fucking vocal box over there.
Damn.
Yeah, what?
So before we sign off here, let's get everybody's socials. Let everyone know where they can find you. Houndstooth.
At DJ Houndstooth on everything. At DJHOUNDS
You didn't ask for spelling.
TOOTH
Yeah.
Is that Tooth?
on everything. Tooth.
I am at DJ Rod Youree at everything.
That's YOU.
I'll put the links in
Yeah.
for
I never
everyone.
could think of a cool
Yeah.
name, so
Yeah.
here I am.
Are you still off Instagram?
Yeah, I'm still not on social media.
Moose.
when you-
Is Just a Dude still on?
Just
Yeah,
a dude
yeah.
is still on Instagram.
Okay, so
It's at Just a Dude official.
There we
That's
go.
it. You'll see a cartoon character that looks like me with a beard.
yeah.
And then mine's moose.audio on pretty much everything. If it's not .audio, it's -audio, like I think my website and whatnot. And I'll be
yeah,
at Tin Roof on the 30th. We're doing Tin Roof Halloween.
you.
He
Took
just
you
texted
long
me
enough.
about that.
Yeah.
Get your
We haven't talked
get your
about
Houndstooth Halloween sticker.
Yeah. What's your outfit? You got an outfit plan?
I do.
He's in it right now. It's
Dude, I
Halloween
fucking
party.
don't at all.
No, I don't think they're doing a block party again. I think that not that I know of.
Should I
think
bring
that
the
all got
chaps
shut
back
down
for
post
Halloween?
Vibes and 3000 bar.
Is Vibe still shut down?
Vibes is not shut down.
3000
bar
shut
is-
down.
Yeah.
They've decided to shut down.
Well, I appreciate you guys all coming over. Thank you for taking the time to actually jump on.
Thanks for having us,
Everyone,
dude.
Thanks
yeah.
for having
This is
us.
nice.
I'd be happy to come back.
Yeah, obviously every
I'll come back when Travis isn't talking the whole time.
every
It's gonna be
platform
never,
episode you guys can
Never.
find YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. For the people that like DJ mixes, platform mix comes out every Monday. Hour-long mixes, DJs from all over the world. So if you
December
need
25th, you
mixes
listen to me.
for Christmas
You
mix,
got the Christmas
by
mix?
Rod. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Halloween mix almost
Yeah.
exactly a year
You guys are-
ago.
you guys are the holiday
Boy, I'll tell you
mixes.
what.
Yeah.
I'll get the Easter mix.
Yeah.
It's all right.
So yeah, new mixes all the time. DJ Dex MKE on all socials. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?